with Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers, they might have an issue with anybody, including Paramount acquiring Warner Brothers. So that's going to be, I think, the line to watch, though it is interesting. I say the word line because there was very clearly a party line in terms of people who were kind of uncomfortable with the acquisition as a whole and people who were very uncomfortable specifically with Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers, and that tended to be Republicans. So yeah, I mean, I could analyze this for hours, I won't, but either way, I think it's an interesting update. I'm very curious to see, kind of now that we know Trump's stepping aside, I'm really curious to see how all of this plays out, because I do think there's an argument for either side, though I do think if I was Paramount, I might be a little scared that I would lose here.
Thank you very much. It's the DOJ, not the FCC, but yeah, thank you very much for that. All right, 2 o'clock, we're going that way.
It's 1 minute. Man. See, we did the 1 minute. So we, they owed us, we
took that serious. It was like exactly
we went to 1 minute back and forth. There was like no hesitation there. So.
He didn't even transition.
I like that move.
Didn't even like make it like smooth or something. Like,
he's like, clock is off. That's it.
Usually he'll say something like, oh, we'll go back to the big boys or whatever comment.
The thing is, Shreve's job isn't done because, you know, he's got to go do the run down there, and we want to thank him for doing that. And
yeah, we're just messing around.
Yeah, of course.
It was kind of abrupt, though.
Oh, it's funny. That's why when I said it to him, I was like, okay, now you owe us a minute. But yeah, back and forth. This is not network television. We're not on any direct, you know, timelines over here. So yeah, good show there. That was fun to talk about it. It was Joe and I had a moment there where he didn't want to say OF, and then I said we can say OnlyFans.
Of course you can say. Why can't you?
Oh, does it block it? Is that why? Because I was going to say because they're going to IPO.
Oh, for real?
They might IPO.
I
got to get into the chat here.
It'll block you if you. Well, first of all, there's a poll here.
Maybe it will block.
What is this? Chasing IPOs instead? No. Cash gang watching. Shorting 250K.
Yeah. Joe knows all about OnlyFans over there, apparently.
You can probably say only whatever. I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Yeah, whatever. And oh, by the way, see this IPO FPS? I'm gonna do this once, twice, and just a bunch of them because we talk about the IPOs all the time. I need to just have a rule. If you could take all the big ones, and this was over $1 billion, then just take all of them. Because you knew what was, because you know, like, after you don't, like, you know, the last one, I don't even remember the name, it was YSS.
York Space.
It was, the space one, YSS. After that didn't work out for us,
come on,
we don't take this, opens exactly at the even dollar, and just only shoots up. Like you, at no point when you just take the opening print in this, did you have any issues? You could have you couldn't have lost money unless you, well, you couldn't have. You could have, unless you didn't take the opening print. But if you took the opening print, you couldn't have lost any money on this. So I'm not happy. Anyways, it is what it is. Let's go to Adair. We'll come back. We'll have the rundown. We'll have the afternoon. We got Amazon earnings coming through after the bell. The market's trying to battle. Bitcoin is, hey, at least it's off the lows. As well, and a successful IPO today if you happen to take it.
There was a couple IPOs, wasn't there? Was that Bob's one? No,
it was Bob's. Yeah, it was.
Was that an IPO? Yeah.
Bob's Discount Furniture.
That's what it was. I mean, if you're looking for furniture on a discount, I mean, no better place to shop than Bob's.
That went up too.
I never even heard
I've
of
never heard. I don't. Who's even heard of it?
We're not in Canada. I mean, I never.
I've been to this. Oh, it's like Bad Boy.
No.
No.
It's probably like the Brick. You know, it's probably more like the brick. Over here.
I haven't been there in a minute.
Everybody's here in Canada.
All right, let's go. We're supposed to go to Adair.
Or Leon's.
Leon's, yes. That's probably.
Bob's and Leon's, you know.
I don't know.
I'll be quick, guys. I just want to mention DNA here. DNA pushing higher after this piece of research, which is published by OpenAI about how GPT-5 lowers the cost of cell-free protein synthesis. This paper was published in connection with Ginkgo Bioworks, which is the company that trades under the ticker DNA. So again, DNA with an OpenAI partnership is pushing higher. Also, if we're talking about furniture companies with people's names, what about Ashley Home Store? This is a weird pattern. Back to you.
What about Williams Sonoma?
Ooh.
Thank you.
Thank you,
everybody. Thank you, everybody.
And you know what? If you want to look for any of these random names that are getting thrown out there, like maybe Williams Sonoma or DNA here, and you want to chart them and see how their history is, maybe do a little bit of tick replay to see how they've been trading today because you haven't looked at it. Maybe trade them through 50+ brokers then eSignal is for you, everybody. You have access to pretty much every indicator that you can imagine out there, and back test and forward test all of your strategies. Look at the imbalance locator like we do here pretty much every single day, multiple times a day, actually. You look at 5-second charts, so I can analyze that quick action on an IPO at the open, or even just the first 5 minutes, which can go pretty quick. It's a great feature. It's a kind of platform where you can add and subtract what you do and don't need. You don't need level 2, then fine, don't pay for level 2. You don't want Amex, then fine, don't pay for Amex. It's just whatever is there. Shout out to eSignal for sponsoring this hour of the show. And I did have that, I threw up that DNA stock. I'm like, yeah, why not? Yeah, it's not doing very well. Well, I feel like nowadays when random symbols come up, it's just never a good chart. So what I want to do is put up like, here. So just so randomly, the next time I come across my eSignal chart, I'm just going to put up something that looks good, which would be like a weekly chart of the Qs. And then when I come back next time, it won't be resting on something that makes you feel bad. So the second IPO, Bob's, it's coming back in.
Oh, Bob is coming.
I would call that somewhat successful. Well, because it opened up at 17. Like it went up, but it opened up at 17 and kind of rinsed you before it went to the upside. But that FPS was pretty darn clean. The big story today has been the fall of Bitcoin. Down, IBIT's down 10%, but that's not really, like it's a 24-hour market, so that doesn't really matter. It's the fact that we're at 66,000, and we've lost this 70,000 support. There's not a heck of a lot down here. I still haven't drawn that. I haven't brought myself to draw the line at 50,000. I'll do it at some point. It's the next line of support. You can see it, but I haven't put that fifth line in there yet, unfortunately. So it's been a rough day in the world of crypto for sure. But you know what? The good news is you and Tom Lee can enjoy the Super Bowl together.
Yeah. Is that what we were watching there? Was the Super Bowl? Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, because it's even.
We're like, haha! You got everyone in at 5K Ethereum.
Hey, they got the popcorn.
Yeah, he's got it. That's cool. There it is. I like that. Me and Tom Lee. That's great. We are good friends.
What's with the double pump high five?
It's just something we do.
It's like, and then you do. It's interesting.
It's just something.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's just something. It's something between he and I.
Yeah, that's fair.
We started that a while ago, and it's just a fun thing. You have little things you do with your friends and stuff.
Exactly.
So, that's what he and I. It's something fun. So I'm glad that we're able to. Thanks, Marissa, for sending that video in. That was a great moment in time. So. All right, let's go back. So first of all, I am just shorting right now. Just at VWAP here for the Nasdaq. So we're going to stop out if it does break higher than that little wick right there. Ooh, a nice little move down. Ooh, okay. Let's see if we can get some bids now if we're able to near these lows here. We'll take out some profit as it's coming back in just a little bit off of VWAP. So we're short here at 26s. Let's take some 17s and 18s out and see. Oh, how about 15s? Ooh, I'll take some 15s out and we'll see if we can get a little lower on this one. But there it is, man. We just put some shorts on, and now we'll see if that comes back into the other side of things right there. But yeah, so far so good here. Shorting the TQs. We'll discuss all of these positions when we get back. Well, we're going to go to Sharif once he's set up, and we'll go over the top names that you guys want to talk about, given to us in the stock visualizer. So all you got to do is get into the chat. It does not reset. Maybe I could reset it after we're done the little rundown right here. But these are the top names so far today. AMD, Palantir, it's going to load up here, Apple. So a lot of big-time names, including BTC right there, down today. Well, I don't know why I chose 29.25. That's not the price of IBIT, though. No. Anyways, we'll either way. I don't think Bitcoin's down 10%, but it's on here.
It's down 9.5.
Oh, is it? Okay, so maybe. But we'll get that off.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay, so there it is. So
well,
So
I guess it's pulling the grayscale because we don't actually trade.
Is IBIT actually? Oh, BTC.am. Okay.
Well, BTC does less volume than IBIT.
But it will work for the thing because then we'll say BTC.
Yeah. IBIT has done 185 million, and then BTC has done like 11.
All right, so that's the rub. So if you guys want Bitcoin, just type in BTC.
Which is fair. Makes it nice and simple.
Yeah, it makes it nice and simple. Okay. All right, Sharif, what you got over there? Are you ready?
Well, we'll let.
Oh no. Okay.
We'll let Sharif get ready. I got my eyes. Speaking of crypto,
take your time.
I got my eyes on BMNR, which, well, hasn't been a good day. ETH is down at 19.3, so it lost to 20,000. Which BMNR was at VWAP when we were at 20,000, and now we're at 19.3. These are numbers we haven't seen in a while. 66, 19. My goodness, it's been bad. But like shorting off the low of the okay, here's support all day long at about 18.4. Now shorting off the 18.4 support. I'm just looking to get a bit of a reload here in BMNR. D-Doggo, any thoughts on, before we go to the rundown, I just saw, it was a question, it was literally about ServiceNow and Adobe. And any thoughts on these charts? I'm not going to call these names the epicenter of the problem. Ooh, that's not split adjusted. Okay, no, I can't look at the Qs anymore because I have to go to ServiceNow. You can't call these guys software as the epicenter of it, but they are squarely in the crosshairs and are falling like an absolute rock at this point. And so I'm going to say the same thing almost every single time when we're looking at one of these charts that doesn't have a support, that has a cascade to the downside, unless your plan of action, if you want to buy this thing, is to just find 4 or 5 random spots to get 20 or 25% in and DCA sort of blindly into it, that's one thing. But if you're actually trying to wait to catch a low while it's doing this, either wait for some kind of ridiculously obvious level or allow it to show you a turn. And on a weekly chart, I think it's just better. Like this bounce here on a weekly, not bad. Even if you get in the second week or third week, you're okay. Even here, you're okay if you got that one. So there's other ways to get in that don't require you to catch a falling knife. But if it's nowhere near a support level, which this isn't, then just give it some room to fall. Like when you're in this kind of a pullback, like the larger pullbacks, you don't have to be in early. You really don't. Like the farther it falls, the less you need to be in on the front side of the trade. So ServiceNow and Adobe, kind of the same thing. And that'll be my thoughts for a lot of these in the penalty box type names. Let's see what you guys are interested in talking about. Although we did just show you the visualizer a second ago, so I know what number 1 is.
Yeah.
Welcome to the afternoon rundown, everyone. The show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. Neil and Sean, the big boys, they are locked and they are loaded and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get your tickers up on the afternoon rundown is to join us in the chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. Make sure to throw in that $ before the ticker of your choice. Let's look at all 4 major averages. And yes, they are all decidedly negative. The Qs and the SPY kind of looking the same. They're both down high 0.8s, 0.88, 0.89. Basically the same look there. The Dow Jones Industrial, a little bit better, down 0.82. And then the worst of them all is the Russell 2000 ETF IWM, over 1%, down 1.1. AMD continues to be on top of mind here, down another 3 3/4 after the earnings a couple of days ago. Boys, there was really no reprieve for this one at 200. It is well below now with a 191 low, trying to bounce back into 192. What say you?
Anyone ever play darts? If you're into darts, like you know what the perfect score is, and it's one of the most subtly entertaining sports to actually watch on TV. Because when someone does it, they get 180. That's when you get 3 triple 20s and you get a perfect round. That's where AMD seems like it's headed, because that's the 200 period moving average, and that is an obvious area. So it's a prior high, it's a breakout level, it's the 200 period moving average, and AMD wants it, right? Like it wants it as badly as I want the Patriots to lose, because I'm a hater when it comes to the Patriots and the Cowboys, Sharif. And that's how Bills fans should be. But look, we have a flat bottom break here on AMD. Doesn't matter that, hey, the quarter actually wasn't that bad. None of that stuff matters at this point. The valuation's kind of expensive, and everyone's flying away from certain risk type names, and they're in that bucket, unfortunately. So, allow it to get to a level that makes some sense before start thinking about the longs. It doesn't even mean it's going to bounce there. But I'm not even looking for a bounce until either we see that level, or maybe you have a close one day above 200 before it gets there. But it doesn't look that way to me.
Well, it looked short to me, and it looked short to me enough that it was our number 1 trade idea here today, and it was at 201 to 202 short. The problem is I didn't take it. So it goes up to 203. Yesterday we got stopped out on the first idea for the short. We wrote down 202. Well, 201 to 202. It ticks as high as 204 there, or almost 204. But yeah, so let it set. This is always the trade, man, for me, is let things settle down and then watch them collapse. So, but we didn't have this one, unfortunately. So yeah, day 2 play was an absolute destruction. there yesterday, and it looks like it's going to continue. Day 3 right here, 1, 2, 3, downside breaking. As Neil said, you're right at this key level here of 190. Well, it's breaking right now. You break that 193 or 191, I guess it is right here. Then yeah, it's just going to get lower. So I don't really have too much love for AMD right now. But I mean, I think the stock will. It's been like just a crazy roller coaster, right? I mean, we've been back here before. So I think that, yeah, I mean, that 180 looks good to me. But yeah, we nailed it this morning. Just don't have the short on. So boo for me on that one. But yeah, right now it's AMD, and it's been a great trade. 200 million shares done today. And you can see it's also bringing down everything else, right? I mean, Nvidia, everything was down at one point there today off of that similar move. So Nvidia's trying to battle back. We don't have their earnings. They're not going to come for a minute. So we'll have to just wait for this. But Broadcom was a nice trade to the upside. Oops, AVGO. These guys had a nice day early because of their deals and whatnot with Google. And with Google's CapEx, it means more business, more money for Broadcom. So yeah, they're up another 3% right here and trying to hold. So I think right now, if we do anything in the chip space based on the numbers that we've seen so far this earnings season, you would maybe anoint Broadcom as potentially the biggest winner in that space. So yeah, that's enough for me. Right now, we'll just continue to watch out for AMD and potentially a pullback to the upside, pull up if we get a good day tomorrow. I think it's a little bit beat up right now, AMD. So look for, yeah, I mean, if tomorrow we come in and there's some positive vibes, I think AMD can go.
Anytime someone says pull up, I think of the, well, it's the automated, the cockpit sound that you've seen in a few movies, probably like Sully. Pull up.
Like you're crashing.
Like sounds that you never want to hear.
Yeah,
that's one of those.
No, I don't want to hear those.
Definitely one of those. My cousin does flight. He's a pilot, but he also does like instructions. So he's all over the simulator.
Google, come on, Google.
And he always says the fun thing he gets to do is like he'll throw one of the things they do in simulators when you're training pilots is they'll put you in situations.
Right, where it's like panic time.
Well, no, we're like, yeah, you're screwed up. It's just like, do you handle it and do you do the right thing, as opposed to whether you don't crash, because the whole point is that you kind of do.
Right, the whole point is not to crash, yeah.
But speaking of crashes, the next name on the list is also in the midst of a crash.
Can't believe Google right now.
Sharif?
65,000 on the dot, Neil. That's what is showing me right now as the low of day on Bitcoin is down 9.5%, but that's 0.5% better than when we started the show. Trying to work its way back into 66,000. All sorts of weakness, guys, breaking through technical levels. 70,000 was earmarked as an important technical level as well as a psychological level. We also have seen the outflows, the forced liquidations as a result of margin. We've also seen institutions not really step up here and buy the dip that aggressively, guys. So Bitcoin, what is your view on this?
Well, there is actually a poll up here. By the way, just for those mentioning in the chat about Apple, does look like there's like a technical break with a little bit of a,
oh my God,
I don't know, like buy programish stuff going on here with Apple. We have a poll here for Bitcoin. So jump in. If you're not in the chat, then jump in the chat. I'm going to go to my higher time frame so I can talk about it. But what's your move on Bitcoin at 65K? Oh, we're just a little bit in front of that. Buying the dip, 41% are buying the dip. Shorting 250K, that's 24%. Cash gang watching, which seems pretty prudent at 31%. And chasing IPOs instead 4%. I want to meet the 4% that are chasing IPOs in this environment. That said, both the two of them today were pretty good. But would you want to buy an IPO and hold it for a while right now? Anybody? I don't know about that, but the only 4% did say that. For now, Bitcoin, and we'll go just one more time, Bitcoin broke the trend from 2023, respected the trend line for resistance, broke through both lines of support, and next would be, all right, I've been really lazy about this. Oh, I don't want like a horizontal ray. It doesn't matter if I use a ray or a line. Plop it somewhere in the vicinity of, oh shoot, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, whatever. There you go. Now there's like a 50,000. That's not even a perfect line, but you get the point. Now there's like a spotlight on where the 50,000 level is. And we're pointing out this morning, when it broke trend last time, lower high here, that retracement 50%. Lower high here, that retracement would be right about to like 48, 49, somewhere in this range. So it even works with what happened last time. So until something different happens, like maybe you get some kind of weekend, I don't know, like flash crash bottom or some buyers just come out of nowhere and defend us to 73, something like that, then I think we're headed down lower. On the day trade, that means looking for shorts. It was a weird one. It did the B setup, not the A setup, and then did the A move. So I thought the play was into 41, even said so on my note. I was like, yeah, 41. But 40 was the secondary play. We popped into 40, did the scalp trade into 39, and then it ended up falling for the rest of the day. Even I wasn't that bearish on it. And if you're looking at ETH, that's under 2,000 and arguably worse than Bitcoin. So what are you going to do? All of crypto is out of favor right now until proven otherwise. It's like if something's an uptrend, you look to go long, right? If something's in a downtrend, you kind of approach each day with, is there a reason for you not to be favoring the short? I think that's how things look right now.
I talked about this earlier about MSTR, and I was just saying, like, you know, if you thought that Bitcoin was a little cooked here to the downside and you're looking for a little bit of a rebound, MicroStrategy's probably got your name written all over it. I mean, this has gotten really obviously hit pretty aggressively to the downside, and you know, now trying to get going. So I actually don't think this is a horrible idea right here if we can break above 112 and then really get going back up to the upside and then watch crypto try to bounce with it. So I actually like MSTR down in and around here now. Just for a quick little rebound trade, if we hold that 66,000, you're going to see a much bigger sort of push forward here, obviously on MSTR than you are on IBIT or BTC or anything that you're looking at. So just look out here for MSTR to get going just a little bit more off of 112. Remember, they actually do report tonight as well. So we'll have Amazon and MicroStrategy back to the upside. Man, I wrote down, I guess Google is going to be coming up, but we wrote down 316 on our sticky note today. That was the best trade, and we covered, then we held a little bit and got taken out there. But look what's happening now, 330, there goes Google right now, back to zeros, man. Google was down 8% at its lows, and now it's Rip City for the rest of the Nasdaq as well, led by Google right here. So huge upside move. Let's go over to Sharif and find out if it's on the board.
From the highs that we put in on silver, boys, back on the 29th, SLV that is, to the lows that we put in this morning, a 40% retracement, not 40% right now, it's recovering a little bit, 65.50 low with a 752 high. Really, it has been, you know, a tough look for silver. 2-day recovery after the 30% plus crash we experienced on Friday. That ends today with silver down another 13%. The dollar is set to be putting pressure on silver as the US dollar index continues to trend up, boys.
Yeah, that, by the way, that FPS IPO is just gorgeous. It just went to $28. So anybody, like if you just stayed true to the if it's a big IPO take it game, you're absolutely laughing with shoot, I already forget what it's called again. Forgent Power Solutions. Not that anybody knows what they do. Obviously, some kind of an energy.
They do
name.
power.
Yeah, it's some kind of an energy name, but does it really matter if it's just going to buy and it goes up? But as far as silver goes, it was ZSL today, and it wasn't quite the volume weighted average price, but it did. But we did the same thing where silver kind of was trending up for a little bit and then had a turn and crashed. So the ZSL did this again, some kind of it at some point, like break a downtrend, sometimes above or below VWAP, but it sets something up after the open and then you just wait for the trend break. Had a deeper one today and then broke out at about 270. Could not get past the prior high. I guess I got to zoom out. Whatever. If I zoom out further, another day, you would see that there's a top up here. So it got there and then turn around. And for now, I don't like it's very like relative to the gap that we have and the fact that we're like how much it's moved. Right, like silver's down a ton. The volatility is really not that big in the afternoon, so I'm not really seeing anything too crazy. But I still think once a day, this is giving you some kind of a mean reversion, and it's just kind of worth taking it or waiting for it. Sometimes a half an hour in, sometimes an hour in. There was one of the days it was like 11:30 that it did the move, and then you take it, hit it, and quit it, because volatility is definitely here to stay, which is better. You can see this better in SLV. Right, like it's back to the 50-period moving average and threatening to lose it. So we're not done. We might not be done yet. I shouldn't say we're not done. It doesn't look like we're done yet with this pullback. You thought we were holding the 70 area, and all of a sudden, that's not looking so certain anymore.
Okay. All right, Sharif, let's go. It's 225. Let's go on to the next symbol.
All right, guys, let's talk about HIMS. HIMS down 2.5% after being up markedly in the pre-market there on this headline, up over 20% at the time, that they're introducing a cheaper Wegovy copycat. Novo Nordisk and Lila Lilly's did drop on that time, but recovering now. HIMS said today it was introducing a pill with the same active ingredient used in Novo Nordisk's Wegovy with an introductory plan of $49 for the first month. The Danish drug maker sells standard dose Wegovy pills for $149 a month for self-paying customers, so about $100 cheaper per month. But now HIMS negative on the day, down 2/3.
Couldn't even hold the gains.
HIMS?
What was
that?
By the way, just that headline in there, that expectation of a rate cut is actually up to 22% for March. And if you go to April, that's up to 35%, with a 5% chance that we have 2 cuts by then. And if you go out to June, the chance of 2 cuts by June is 22%, and you're now at almost 50-50 that we have that cut by June. So all of those have bumped up. We did, of course, have jolts this morning, so maybe that's part of it. Well, HIMS, there's not much of a worse look than breaking out the way that they did today and then ending up red. That's awful. That's terrible. It looks bad. Technically, it's as bad as it looks. The stock is still falling. It can't even hold gains on positive news. What are you supposed to do? Like, your flat bottom break, we already did, 24. You can tell we don't really pay attention to the stock very much. Underneath this 24 level, you're kind of flat bottom breaking some support here. And it's a really big tell. Forget about big names on earnings. If a stock is in that heavy of a downtrend and simply now a couple of times in a row cannot sustain bounces on news and gives everything up, like bounce yesterday at the open, give everything up. Bounce today at 8:30 on news, give everything up. The sellers are still there, and they're still aggressive, and they're winning. So don't get caught in stocks like this. I know we sound like a broken record, but that's what it is. That's what the stock is right now. The sellers are deeply in control, and good news doesn't seem to matter.
I think the space is a tough one right now because, like, yesterday we had Eli Lilly with their report and it absolutely ripped. It went up basically to all-time highs again, and then now today on some of these reports again, you got Novo and you got Eli Lilly and you got HIMS all moving around again. So this is the push back in. So I think you just stay if you're an investor. You want to stay with an Eli Lilly instead of these other ones. But yeah, the volatility is definitely around right now. I mean, up 10%, back down 10%. This is a $1 trillion name. So as Eli Lilly dances around here, you're seeing a big movement in other names. And just to see NVO, it's just so funny. Like they have the oral pill right now, and I think it's just a threat that Eli Lilly is just around the corner because this is just a huge move down. And I guess the difference is Eli Lilly can just produce. This is Danish. Eli Lilly is American, but I just don't know why there's such a disconnect between the two of them. I mean, I guess probably pipeline and things like that as well. But this is looking pretty yuck right here. I wonder if it's a good idea almost to put on a pairs trade, short Novo, long Lilly, but this right now looks like it's breaking pretty aggressively to the downside on Novo Nordisk. So 45 break right now. I think you can go short and probably just hold this one for a long time. As we said, we're always looking to pick up names that are near the lows, right? But this one definitely looks like it's breaking with not much help in sight here for NVO. Interesting space and a volatile one, needless to say.
Big time.
Last on the list here, Google recovering certainly off that 306.5 low back into 329. Good recovery there, only down 1% now. It was a blowout earnings report yesterday after the bell, beating easily on the top and bottom line, but investors were focused on one main line item, and that was the CapEx for 2026, now guiding 175 to 185 billion, well ahead of the 115 the street was expecting, guys. Google trying to go green at 332.90, I believe it goes green.
At least Google's getting what it deserves. It's not helping the market, but no. Based on the quarter, I think this is 49% cloud, 49% cloud growth, just unbelievable. Amazon's not beating that tonight. Stamp that, they've been behind. Azure doesn't have to beat that. The expectations are, I think, if they're in the high 20s, I'm sure they'd be happy with it. But it was a blowout. The CapEx was the problem. But it didn't matter this is the opposite of HIMS, right? Like when it gets sold off, what's the reaction? Buyers all day long on this bad boy. And it's now holding that support level from the afternoon. Yesterday, if you watched us, it dipped and then it started holding this 21. And it's now firmly above that. That's a big level to close here on Google. It's the 50 period on the daily. It showed you that was going to be a key support in the aftermarket yesterday when it was trying to hold initially. So yeah, it looks like we're going to close above support, a key support line, and potentially in the green. Great sign for Alphabet. It tells you who's in favor and who's not, relatively speaking, in the Mag 7. So you can, knock on wood, put them in the bucket with Apple that they're okay right now, and maybe wait on the rest.
Yeah, we are kind of just looking here at, we had this level, it's still Nova, I was looking at it on my Google, on my e-signal chart. Look, we had marked down 316 here on our sticky note, right? And so as you can sort of zoom in and see what we're talking, yeah, there's Austin. Yeah, we had that soundbite numerous times. So that's how you know that we had talked about this. But yeah, there's 316. We wrote it down right here on the sticky note. It does wind up holding, and it's a jam. So I should have been there to buy that dip. We said rinse and repeat. Here it is right here. There's the AMD short. There's the Google long. There's our silver short, which should be printing now as well. But yeah, just looking to buy dips, right? And obviously it gets way too aggressive. Come on, chart. Gets way too aggressive early. Dips into that 308, goes down 8%, and then people are like, wait a second, it's Google. They buy it right back, comes right back in, right into our lap there at that 316 marker, and now it's see you later. So we did real well trading the Qs off the lows, and I just wish we would have held a little bit. Well, we were short, so we didn't do anything. I wish we would have gone long instead of waiting for that to break. Today, the market does a little different. The market's coming down, but the name that reported is going up. That's been very, very different is what we've seen so far. So it's a nice move here for Google. I think everyone's got to be happy with this. I do agree with, well, there was debate on if it was Sharif or Joe's idea, but I do think that Google eventually takes top dog here at some points. I'm not even sure what the market cap looks like now, the race. But on this report,
it's got to be a site that you can.
I mean, if Amazon does well, Google will be up tomorrow.
Was that we were saying? Is that what it was? It was who?
Well, it's just I think they're just saying that because right now it's what Nvidia, right, is the largest market cap. Well, I don't know actually.
Well, it ain't Microsoft.
Now that Nvidia's at 1.7.
I don't want to crap on Microsoft.
It might be Apple right now, actually.
We just all know it's not Microsoft. You can just ask Perplexity, probably be able to get it.
Yeah, we can. We can do all that, anyways. Yeah, so here's Apple, 4.05 trillion. Here's Google right now, 4.01 trillion. So it's getting pretty close. So those are the top three. 4.2. So it's still Nvidia, Apple, Google right now. So. Yeah, there you go. The good old use your hands method right there got us the answers.
Even there. Amazon's coming at Microsoft.
Well, Microsoft is a little bit of a problem.
Amazon's not been anywhere close to Microsoft for, Anyways, it's 3.1 to 2.6. So it's now within like 20% of each other, which is crazy. And Microsoft might have more to go. By the way, making a new fresh low today and accelerating a bit would be CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike's back to August levels. This is in bear territory and down from the highs, I'd say about 30, call it 33%, somewhere in that range, 33.3 repeating. Shout out to Leroy Jenkins. I can't believe, which of course that thing was fake. Leroy Jenkins. It'd be better if it was real.
Oh.
You know that the viral Leroy Jenkins thing, it actually happened. But they didn't, they had...
What is the viral Leroy?
You know, it's Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
They're playing World of Warcraft. He blows up the plan by just screaming his name and going into the room. So that actually happened for real, but they weren't filming it or taping it or recording it. So then they just recreated it and acted it out. So
right.
The one that you see literally didn't happen. I just found this out recently, which goes to show how old I am. But CrowdStrike bled. Pan W bleeding. Here as well. This isn't split adjusted, but it just goes to show like almost nobody is getting spared here. So we're not just like when we're pulling up charts of HIMS. I don't want to be all, we're only talking about how things are getting bled out in stocks that are pure growth and aren't considered staples in people's accounts or anything. I own Pan W and CrowdStrike, and well, I sold some Crowd a while ago, but I didn't sell any Pan W. And it's like, you always wish you could have sold a little bit more. And this would be one case where the death cross actually was a good entry point on the short. You cannot hate on this whatsoever. 50 crosses a 200. Immediately after it makes a lower high, it has not looked back. That's Pan W. And you're going to get into a monster level. Like the April levels here, that's a big one. Because look at the reversal this put in about 150. I feel like this one's on my radar more so than CrowdStrike, just for myself. And we'll be at a pretty key level at this rate tomorrow. And the two biggest cybersecurity names out there. All right, so BM&R did reload at the 40s. Well, in front of the 40s at 30. Reggie Miller 31. But it can't seem to break 18. And if we can't break 18, then it's going to be a scalp inside. The same way was VWAP to this low. It might just end up being a scalp into this bottom at 18 bucks here. On BM&R, we have a super chat, and it's from Amoj?
Yeah.
Amojar?
Yep. Amojar.
Hopefully I got that right. Apologies if I didn't.
Amojar.
With so much institutional buying in BTC from the highs, if BTC does in fact have a mass sell-off because there isn't any surge protection, could this heavily affect the SPY? Yeah, Nasdaq more than the SPY, but yeah, I would say so, because like any risk-off event that maybe causes people to adjust their holdings can absolutely cause that. What's crazy about this, and oddly enough, I saw Peter Schiff actually tweeted this, and
boom.
By the way, Peter Schiff will be on Monday at noon on the program.
Yeah, come on,
and
Peter.
He'll talk about gold. He'll probably talk some crypto as well. He pointed out that Bitcoin has done this without a major crash. So we've had this move. Let me just go back to the Bitcoin chart. Like we've had this move without anything like crazy. Like the thing about this move down, all of it is pretty much to structure. Like you've had support around the areas you'd expect to have support. Like, you know, you slow down and you bounce, you have some consolidation. Like there hasn't been anything ridiculously profound that looks like, okay, this is distinctly different from how it was behaving before. You can make an argument that it kind of looks like that right now, to be honest with you. Like if we lose...
Watch out, AMD.
Yeah, if we lose 66 tomorrow, that would be happening. But to that point, if we did have an event like that, it could cause maybe a sharper move down. The SPY is only a couple points off the highs. Like nothing extreme has happened to them just yet. Man, AMD, triple bottom.
I'm going short on AMD if we break 191. I just want to bring that to everyone's attention. I mean, you know, I think we got to watch out for it. Like, it could get real choppy. Like, I'm only going to use like one unit here. If this was a little different time of day, I think I would probably use a little more. But it's just the market right now just made a move down. I'm not sure if the market wants to go any further. Bitcoin's going to lose 66 again, it looks like, right now. But yeah, I'm going to try it. I mean, it could be a long from these levels. It's just only down 4%. I think we can get a little lower here on advanced micro devices. And then I'm just going to use, 192 basically, give it about $1 worth of room. So that's kind of what I'm share sizing into this. So if that does wind up happening, like that's something that I'm comfortable with is $1. So if we're going to let it go up against us, that's something that I'm always thinking about. And we always get questions like, you know, what do we look at as far as risk and all that kind of stuff? Well, I think that's a good example right there. Like give yourself enough room that if you're wrong, you can hold it a little bit, especially with today's market. So I'm gonna do that. I don't want to just get stopped out real quick and then the move actually winds up happening. So let's just be patient with it now. I'm not in it, but we're waiting for that 191. And hey, even if it comes back up, like that doesn't mean I'm going to short here, short here, short here. I want to play the momentum break of 191 right now on advanced micro, right? So that's what we're going to do. If Nvidia is a similar break, I don't think it's not, but I wouldn't mind taking that either, just because of the space that we're in right now. Apple and Google are the ones I'd want to go long on. So they're going to be anywhere near any kind of a breaking level right now, unless it's break higher. And I think that I got to get better at breaking higher levels instead of just always waiting for dips, as I talk about that all the time. So, you know, maybe 277.50 break higher on Apple could be a trade, or very similarly with Google. If we break, wow, Google, man, what a great name that is. Breaking 330.70 right there, that's the high for Google. So, you know, maybe if this momentum can pick up off of the lows right now, you'll get another bump here for Google. Obviously, you'd like to get this 50-period moving average of 328. That doesn't look like that's coming in anytime soon. But yeah, that's a little look there as we get ready for the close. And I'm just kind of scanning through like a bunch of different stocks to see if there's any kind of setups. Tonight we do have Amazon, so you can see Amazon right here, down 452 as well. So that's going to be a problem. 2222 is the 200-period moving average. So you're actually into this even before earnings right now for Amazon, right? So if you sort of zoom it out, you're going to see, there it is, so right there. So you're already at this level. So this is a danger spot for Amazon today. You know, that if they can, I don't want to say it because obviously I'm in Amazon but whatever, as we said, like if we're investors, it doesn't really matter right this second. But Amazon, like that AWS number, better not miss. Like Microsoft basically met the whisper number of 38 to 39 and still got clobbered. Like if Microsoft was 37, like you missed by 1% on your growth, then you're dead right now to the market. So Amazon's not dead to me. There's probably delivery at my step right now. But I'm very, very nervous about this report here tonight. So this could also potentially be a break through 221 or whatever that low is right here. If Amazon can come up to 224 into the 200 into the VWAP, I think that's a nice level that I could actually get behind the short here with Amazon. And it's only because like nervous hands, right? Like we know that these stocks are punished if they miss. So if Amazon does miss on AWS, it will be game over for this for quite a long time, I feel like. Microsoft is still a week in, right, or a week and a half in, and they're still feeling the wrath of a 1% miss. So we'll wait on that. And Microsoft is actually sort of in line, actually. Right, Daryl, wasn't it? Wasn't it 39 versus 39? Or?
Oh, yeah, it was like...
Yeah, it was right there.
I made an infographic on this to kind of show how much of I thought people were overreacting by that slowing growth. Because, guys, it's been slowing since literally the second quarter they reported Azure in 2016. And I can pull that up later if you guys are actually curious. But the point is, it's kind of stagnating. It's just flatlining, if anything. It's like roughly 38% versus 39%. But again, I literally went home after and spent hours, like way too long, just looking at Microsoft earnings reports to put together that visual because I was trying to figure out if cloud growth actually was slowing. And like, it'd been slow, I'll put it that way. But yeah, I mean, it was relatively flat to answer your question. Sorry, I went on a rant there. But.
I love.
No, I mean, that's why we asked it. I mean, at least I had the right number there. So, yeah. So there we go. But yeah, so they're still missing out on the bull run. I mean, the bull run's not happening in the market anyways, but that's been a problem for Microsoft. So I do fear Amazon same kind of ways. If they start to get to the downside, we definitely are worried about Amazon. So, but yeah, anyways, that's going to happen tonight. Join us tonight live as we will all be here and ready to go with your report on Amazon.
Yes, sir. And not just Amazon. A bunch of other names are going to be reporting tonight as well.
Reddit.
Reddit's one of the big ones. Actually, haven't pulled that one up. I just wanted to show we did bounce off the 18 level again, so double bottom is holding. It was a quad bottom before it eventually broke earlier. So back on the offer in the mid-30s with the stop at 40, just above 40, and we'll see if we can rinse and repeat that. But speaking of the aforementioned Reddit, load. Hey, that's actually not bad. We're hanging at a VWAP. It's kind of flat on the day. When we looked at the next IPO or the percentage of being the next IPO or the IPOs for this year, I think Discord was 90-something%.
Yep.
That was at maybe Kalshi or Polymark, whatever. We're expecting Discord this year, which I guess will provide some kind of maybe it'll provide a jolt to this area. But Reddit at the 150, it's held once. It's held twice. But the problem with this breakout trade is it doesn't matter because you have to wait for the earnings. So I'd love to be able to tell you, hold this double bottom, and Reddit is a breakout long at 156. But if we're trading at 140 because they missed tonight, there's nothing you can do about it. And if they have a great quarter, you're probably just bursting through that level. But it is worth looking. Like maybe we do get a shot to trade some kind of a reversal and breakout here. If for some reason it's just sitting flat tomorrow. I'm not thinking it's going to be flat. I think it's actually going to be a mover. But it is having support at the 150 level at least.
Yeah, it's going to be a mover for sure.
I think so.
Okay, so yeah, Reddit's a great stock. I really like that name there as your next sort of not next. I mean, it's already had its run, but I think there's a very capable run there for Netflix or for Reddit. Okay, so just quickly here, we just bounced again on AMD. So sometimes my zooming in works and sometimes it doesn't. I don't even know.
It's fickle like that.
Okay, I'll just push the zoom in there. Yeah, so right into here, man. I mean, let's wait to see if it does come through. 191 just bounced again off of that level. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go short about a unit there. Typically, if I really am feeling the stock, it'd be like 3 or 4 units, and I could do that here. I just, you know, we're pretty much flat on the day. The only, it's crazy because the only loss on the day that's where my net's gonna be is on Apple. And it's just crazy because it's just stupid because we had written down these levels on Apple and just didn't really execute properly against them. We talked about right down there, 174-ish level, but there's 173 held a couple times and then bounced back to the upside. So this will be my biggest red name, and it's not even that bad. What we wound up losing on silver, we make back on TQQs. So that turns out to be pretty good deal there. What we lost into here, we were short and then we were long. We just went the wrong way twice on silver. That was too much trading there, and we've learned our lesson. And then this was the big trade. Long, 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 blow it up into there, and you guys just saw me get out of that short there as well. So yeah, that's what the market gives you. Sometimes you hit them, sometimes you don't. Like, we just got out of that short there, moves up, and then right back into this area again. So, you know, this just proves that you got to wait for the real good setups to get excited about. You know, just sitting here and throwing around shares, you don't really see, well, you do not see the share sizes. So that's why I'm trying to tell you, like, certain trades will obviously be different quantities for me. So that's why I'm telling you, like, I'm going to go the 1 unit trade here if AMD winds up breaking. And Google, maybe we just saw a top at 330. I don't know. If this can come back down, man, I think we should be buying some Google, but it looks like the market might want to break anyways here. So we're just going to wait for AMD, and then hopefully that's the first trade that pops in, and then it's $1 worth of risk. So we need to try to make $1 on this one. Here it comes screaming in, it's AMD.
And the market's screaming in. What is not screaming in, I just saw in the chat someone saying ARM, ZZ Bop,
Okay.
saying ARM is totally normal price action. Yeah, in an up market, this would, I know you're being sarcastic, it would be totally normal in an up market, and it would be totally normal if it didn't dump after earnings. It would be totally normal if Qualcomm didn't indicate that there would be slowness in the handspace set. It's just, it's weird, and the only thing I can say is I am glad I didn't trade this stock, because all morning long I was like, where is the short in ARM, because this doesn't make sense. And in my brain, I'm like, it shouldn't be up, based on what's happening in the market and based on last night in the report, I'm like, it shouldn't be up, so just short it. Shouldn't be up, so just short it. But thankfully, it never actually set up a short. It just didn't. It just kept on uptrending. And I'm not even seeing anything inside. Up 8% after, it was down double digits at one point last night. It was the worst stock we were watching. And now the bounce is in, and the suckers that were waiting for this to be underneath $90 and in the 80s for a dip buy, now just kind of still waiting around. I don't get it, but if you don't get it, you don't have to trade it. Let's go to Adara at the desk. Hopefully we can get a pop in crypto because I want to fade some BM&R. Or maybe we just have to wait for Intel to show a setup again.
No news, though. It is worth noting Caroline Levitt, who is still speaking, actually just briefly mentioned here, the Trump RX event will be tonight, 7 p.m., as I kind of suspected it would be earlier. And then also mentioning he's going to be meeting with, Trump rather, will be meeting with insurance companies sometime this month, though she doesn't have it scheduled yet. I want to talk about Snapchat, SNAP with their earnings. I've been having a lot of fun making these visuals. If you like this type of earnings infographic content, just let me know here in our chat. Just tag me there. But this really shows here Snap's daily active users. Now, we know average daily active users actually increased on a sequential basis this quarter, though it did grow 5% year over year. But what I thought was interesting is how this breaks up regionally. Most of Snapchat's, like the vast majority of Snapchat's daily active users, are out of the rest of the world category. So not Europe and not America. And furthermore, the only regional segment where we got sequential growth was the rest of the world category. So it's interesting here. Snapchat maybe dying out a little bit in North America and Europe, but doing quite well in the rest of the world. So interesting look there. And back to you.
Yeah, Snapchat at the open was, there wasn't a green candle on the 3-minute until 10:09, and it dropped immediately 10%, like just 10% instantly. It was like $6 down to $5.30. Well, just underneath $6 down to $5.30. So in almost a straight line down for Snapchat, which, by the way, was up in the aftermarket yesterday and looking strong. So this is indicative of what the market's going to be like. That said, Snapchat's one of these stocks, not to be a broken record, but it lost a bit a long time ago and has been in a downtrend for quite some time. So it's not as if this is something breaking down out of nowhere like the cybersecurity names. This is just bad and staying bad. Or getting worse, I should say, not staying bad. It's actually getting worse. When I was saying about Intel for potential short, I hadn't checked this one out. I thought we were still at least close to view off. This really pressed through the volume weighted average price when the market's headed the other way. So it's trending up when the market is trending down. It doesn't really put it in the bucket that I would like for the short. So I have to wait for the next entry in BMNR. That just took out the low, so maybe it's making another step down. Could bring the offer, if it sets up, bring the offer down to like 1820 or so. Still over an hour left in the day. And Rusty Dutch in the chat just hooked up 5 Trader TV Live gift memberships, and look at them just quickly get claimed. If you're wondering what those are and how you can get them, first, I'll tell you guys how to get them. Make sure you're a subscriber so you can be in the chat, and then you enable gifts. And if you've done that and you get a membership, by the way, it's only $5 a month, you can grab this. It's not a watch list. It's an in-depth note curated by Sharif every single morning. Today's is 15 pages long, lots of information on most of the big stories that you're going to find. Obviously, you can have Alphabet earnings, support resistance, key information about it, Amazon for tonight to be prepared for it, Nvidia's story. You've got Apple. You've got Qualcomm that reported, ARM who reported as well, Snapchat that we were just talking about, and it goes on. And for $5 a month, fantastic resource. You get it every single day that Sharif is here. And whenever we have kind and generous viewers, such as Rusty Dutch, you can also grab a free one, just like that.
So here we go, man. AMD does go downside, but unfortunately, I only crossed down 10 pennies and missed it. It was more than a 10-penny break right there on the move down. So I just pushed in a small amount of shares here at 77, just because that's literally where it went to. I was like, oh, I'll take some here. So we're not in our full position. Oh, wait a second. Did we just get? No, I was waiting at 190.88s there to get a little bit more, and we just must have just got missed. So we're gonna. Darn it. We're short right now. We have a position, but we'd like to get a little bit more. So if this does come back up into 191, that was supposed to be the price that we got, but the slippage, and that's what you call slippage. So if we're going to do a little bit of lessons there, okay, here it comes. So now we're in it. That's just once a level breaks, your order goes out, and it's just there's like a rush to the stock, and you can see with the spread right now. I actually didn't take that too much into consideration there. So yeah, didn't properly trade the spread right there, but we'll wait to see if we now get a downside play. So now we're in at 190.88. So not bad if we can say that for our price. I mean, I did want a little lower, little better than that, but what can you do? Beggars can't be choosers. We're now into this game now with AMD, and we've already set so we got the shares we want. We got a little bit more than we wanted to be honest with you, because we did do that punch. But here's potentially a reload, and then if we're going to get out at the 50-period break. So that's like 192. So that order is actually already in, and we're just going to wait to see if we're able to capture some kind of profit on this name here to the downside for Advanced Micro Devices. And let's just sit on it a little bit. I mean, if this comes into the 60s or 70s, no, I put a 60 fill. If this comes into the 60s, we'll take a swipe down and hopefully get that. And then as it continues to extend through, we'll look for a little bit more profit here on this name. So far so good here with the short on Advanced Micro Devices. We took a 75 there. We have a 65, and then we have a 55, and then we can let this thing go, hopefully, and we'll see where it goes to the downside on AMD. It was my #1 trade idea, but that was at 202. So right now we're at 191 and looking to go lower. That's the break of the day here on Advanced Micro Devices. So let's see how low we can get on this one. Good luck to anybody that's short, and if you're long, good luck as well. I mean, I don't really know where this is going to go. I know my plan of action is to trade this to the short side for now. So yeah, that's that, and let's just see where we go.
Because of obvious logic, when AMD broke the low, ARM broke its high of the day.
Yeah. Well.
Because we're living in the most obvious reality when it comes to this stock today. Like, I keep looking over, is it going to break trend? Is it going to show any signs of a short entry here? And it doesn't. And I know I keep looking at it, wanting to manifest a trade, and it's really not happening. I've moved down to 18 on BMNR. Okay, so Bitcoin, actually it's bouncing off 65. But IBIT did break the low of the day, 37 on IBIT, but it did kind of challenge the 65 level. But I'm seeing a little bit more weakness in ETH relatively. That's why I'm looking at BMNR. So I tried to grab this on the way down, kind of missed, and I'm just sitting at the 18 level to try to get picked up as we just continue to trend to the downside for sure. And SP right here, Amazon needs to beat so we don't sink further, keep us afloat. I want to say I believe that, but here's the problem with that. Look at Google. This isn't helping us today, right? Like Google's at the high of the day right now. Google rebounded. They're strong, and the futures are still looking like they're going to break down. So I don't know. Like I want that to be true, that Amazon has a good report maybe and goes green and has a solid gain, and that'll mean good things for everything that's falling. I'm not sure that's how it's going to play out. Nothing about this earnings season has told us that we should be able to expect that. I hope it's true. And does Amazon even go up if they have a good report? That's the other thing you have to consider. Nobody else has, so why should they? Unless you're ARM, or who else has been good?
The problem is ARM went down first.
Look, I don't know what's going on with ARM today.
Yeah.
Because everything about, whether you're talking about the increased cost of memory, weighing on cell phone sales, and that's a problem for them, and they haven't really made too much progress in terms of monetizing AI because they're basically, the fact that they're just in every single device and they license their technology is how they make all their money. They're trying to diversify, but that's not actually seeing any big results yet. And that was all said, and that was all seemingly reflected in the move to the downside. And I'm saying this as a person who owns ARM shares. I'm happy they're up. I can't make heads or tails on a day where everything is bleeding why it's just been ripping people's faces off. Unless, I don't know, maybe some people got trapped shorting the crap out of this in the aftermarket, which doesn't really make sense to me. But I don't know. It's still going. We're up 9% today.
I think that's why you wait and to see where the big money actually comes in.
Watch it dump tomorrow.
Yeah, and starts playing it, right? So, yeah, just crazy times that we're doing right now. Yeah, somebody knows some. Yeah, insider.
Yeah,
it's not insider trading. I don't think. It's just this is what happens in stocks, man. It's not fair. We know that. Like the big guys will come in, they'll push around wherever they want to, and then it's just like when somebody wants Bitcoin to go up, they'll just start buying it. And but we did hear that
13A filing in a couple of weeks or whenever it is.
Yeah, and then you'll be like, okay. But yeah, I was just going to say Tesla. We had an early report there today that maybe Cathie Wood was starting to buy at some of these levels. So we know that that's kind of a whale buyer. And now you can see what this is doing. I mean, it's not really holding that 400 very good. I mean, we did get back up into 402 again. Wow, volume today 55 million here. All right, AMD. We are unable to get that short again. Up there, but it does fall back into the 80s. I did take a fill there at 80 one more time. So I'm actually in right now 70% of what we have left, as we had taken some out there in the 75 area, now in the 80 area, just for small wins, but we are waiting for that big tank to come through here on Advanced Micro Devices into the close. I thought it would be a little more dramatic right there. Now I'm kind of trying to fight these futures, thinking like, okay, maybe we don't want to actually break some of these levels here on the TQs or on the NQs. So that's going to be something. And then the ES today right now, both down over 1%. So definitely something to think about as we look forward to tonight's earnings, as Neil was just mentioning there. Bitcoin's really obviously getting hit today. We've talked about that. Now looking to break 65. It's at 65.3 right now. Yeah, pretty ugly across the board. I mean, it's been a little bit of a minute since Walmart's been red. That's now down 0.6 today. Microsoft down 4. Nvidia's there as well. JP Morgan at one point was down 3 something. That's trying to hold out for a bid to come through as well. Eli Lilly's the one that's really getting smoked today, down 8% off of a good earnings report yesterday or 2 days ago. But yeah, down again today after, like I said, up 8% yesterday. Caterpillar, some of the industrial names bleeding. We saw GE Vernova up after hours on the spend by Google, now down, well, just down 1%. Cummins down, that's not great either. Down to the downside here. I don't see Deere here, but that's okay. Oh, there it is. What am I talking about? Right in the middle. Hey, Deere. It's up today, so that's nice for Deere.
Nice.
We'll wait to see if that's doing anything. There's the banks. Energy today, I just saw oil was down 3% or so. Exxon, CVX, Conoco, all getting kicked a little bit there today. No names in oil land up. So we have to be careful with what's going to be happening possibly there. I really did like the XLE, and I did buy just small. Like I'm already in this from many moons ago.
Why is CMI
by the way, here
11%? That's an insane move for this stock.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying.
Did they report or something?
Probably.
Oh, look,
we are getting ready to get a little more shares here on AMD as it just made the move up against the futures. So we're now short at 190. We didn't get very many more, right? We're now short at 190.97. That was just a baby fill. I'm actually waiting right up here at the 50-period moving average, and then I'm going to give this to 192. We break through 192, we can get out of this name. So here it comes right up to another level. If we get 191.80, that's when you'll see my price change, okay? Because that's my next fill. So 191.80 here on AMD.
And the headlines for Cummins are EPS beat of about 13%, sales beat of about 5%, and they reported strong fourth quarter and full year results. Then. I don't see what the guide was here. Actually, here we go. They expect their full year 26 revenue to be in the range of 3 to 8%. EBITDA. It doesn't say comparables. I don't see comparables on the guidance. Maybe that's the issue. But they took a 458.
Well, we can just ask. We can ask Gadara.
But crashes on data centers. So it might be a data center thing.
Yeah.
But they're like a power. Yeah, they're a power. Another one of these power names. Wow, I didn't even realize there's so many names that have been doing well that have been hit very, very poorly, very badly. I am in the BMNR in front of that 18 level, but let's go to my left.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Global X. Savvy Canadian traders looking to boost their exposure can now tap into the Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500 with Beta Pro 3 times daily levered ETFs. Featuring built-in FX hedging, this aims to amplify short-term market moves while minimizing the impact of currency swings. Whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for active day traders ready to take on this market. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. You are short with me, right, at Lindenmeyer? I'm just going to ask you that right here about AMD because you're like, let's go now. Yeah, I'm hoping it comes to the downside. I did not get that fill, which would have been too bad. Like if we were at 765s, you would have got it, and then we'd be probably in the money now. But we have to let this go down, man. We're still out of the money right now, 30 cents. 20 cents as it's coming back in. So yeah, let's let AMD calm down a bit. That level right there is 191.20s. That's basically where we took another fill. So it's coming back down. Not basically, I'll tell you where we took it. We took it at 191.25. So now it's basically back into that, waiting for that movement to happen. But the Nasdaq's trying to get going here again. So maybe potentially this trade gets blown up, which is fine. I mean, we trying to get it into 192. We'll take an L on this one, but we said already, pretty light, so we're going to wait if that one wants to go. And instead of, like I said, catching these bottom makes, if we just played a name that was strong, Google, we would have been able to, wow, that's 327 to 3, that's $2 in the last 10 minutes or so, from that bottom of 327.50 up to 329.50 essentially. So that's about $1.80, $1.90 now, all the way up here for Google, as that's helping the market sort of feel a little bit better about itself. Amazon earnings tonight, that's going to be an interesting one. We've already talked a little bit about Reddit as well. But yeah, this is not going as expected, Lindenmeyer, for this one. But that's why we said, like, you know, potentially we're able to get some out there as it wasn't breaking. It came back in. We got some more out. We reloaded a little bit there. And now we're waiting. As you can see, we didn't reload a lot. We're going to wait for a better price. And if we get stopped out, we get stopped out. And, you know, trading is about that. You're not going to you know, work on it too much more than that. So let's just give it a second, see if it wants to blow out. We shouldn't be like these fills here are just 10, 15 cents. That doesn't make, you know, we have to wait for a bigger move down, right? Just sometimes when we sense that there's some problems, we try to get out a little bit earlier. So, all right, here goes AMD. We'll wait for that 191.80 and then get stopped out. Our average price at that time will probably be about 30s. So we'll lose about 70 cents if this one does not work out.
John Baker.
What's up,
Thank
John?
you for the super chat there, John. Microsoft's about to fill its April 30 gap. Crazy, huh? That's all. Yeah. That's there really isn't much else to say. Hopefully, here, I have a weekly chart up. Interesting. I always find it hilarious. Like, I'll go back and I'll be looking at charts, and at some point I drew support and resistance on Microsoft, and then I just never got rid of them. So I actually have a prior, see, like you go back, like there's a resistance level at the 340, and then there's a breakout at the 340, and then there's the April bottom is the 340. So you know what? I've been talking about where to buy Microsoft, and suddenly my own chart is telling me, well, Neil, you put that in for a reason, so probably that's not a bad space to wait for. But the 200 period on the weekly is actually at 375, so there might even be a spot before that. But I'm thinking, you know, where they're sitting and the way this is trading now, yeah, the fill in that gap looks really good. So you pull up a chart. I was like, if you like support and resistance, don't delete the things, the lines that worked on your chart. I don't delete them on Bitcoin, and thankfully didn't here. So that fill into the gap into a previous high, which would be the 2021 high, looks like it could be a good spot there for Softy. Quickly show you, there's a bit of a dance that just happened on IBIT. So it broke the low. At the same time, I mean, ETH broke the low, and then BMNR was breaking the low. That's why I'm in it off 18. But it just did a wick. On the 3-minute, we just did a little bit of a topping tail, and now back underneath on IBIT. So that at least makes it look like it could head here and absolutely fall apart. I threw an offer to add to it and tighten the stop up a little bit on BMNR, just looking for a push down. There's not even, it's not like there's levels down here. Like, you are essentially at low of day, right? And you're in a huge downward trend. There's no support on the daily chart or anything to go into. Like, you're basically into the void on BMNR. But with the market bouncing, it's sitting on the lows, and so is Bitcoin, and so is ETH. So that makes me feel like it makes sense, even with the pop in the futures here, this is not really going anywhere. So if we turn at VWAP on the futures, I don't see why not add to the short and see if it works. Patrick, we have a second super chat in here.
Perfect.
Not on the page. Let's see if we can get it going. It's Patrick J. Del Valle? Del Valle. What's the story with Bitcoin? Is it supposed to go to 37K? I've seen a lot of numbers come out of the woodwork. I've thrown the 50,000 level out there just from a purely technical standpoint. I'm just looking at the chart and saying there's a support level. There was a significant level before. It's a 50% pullback from here to there on that trend break. So 50% from here gets you down to just under 50. 37 would be, I guess, this level down there. The January, so go to January 2024, this consolidative low as well. So I guess that makes some sense too. And then I can point to all these levels. Then 25,000 is also a pretty big level. I mean, anything's in play when it looks like this, I suppose. But like we have to test 50,000 first, and that's as significant as any level I've seen out there. But what's concerning, I mean, at least it's concerning for me. Everyone can feel how they want to feel. We didn't really show any signs of support in this 73, 74 level. Like, we kind of bounced, muted bounce, and then just blew through this like it wasn't even there. That's the problem. So do we show support at 50, or do we blow through that as well? Because that'll be panic mode for a lot of people. I'll tell you, I will not be feeling very good if we don't show any support at the 50,000 level. That's for sure. Yeah, I think we just got another super chat. Okay. Danny's boy, thank you so much, Danny's boy. As bad of a day as it's been for silver, kind of overshadowed by this Bitcoin thing too. These mining companies start reporting in about 10 days, and it's hard to imagine them not going north with silver over 60. Today's the day to make tomorrow's money, in your opinion. That's what I love about this community. Me, I don't know much about the silver miners, but it's that type of insight that might provide an opportunity. One thing we do know is the miners don't have to move with the underlying spot price, and that's never been true. They usually lag on the way up, and sometimes they can see their profits on the back end when you've already had a bit of a reversal. Okay, we're spiking in volume here. Yeah, so like the way that this came in, I don't know, that was a spike on, Bitcoin spiking too. Am I gonna move them? I'm not gonna move my stop. I got my stop right in here. Double check, make sure it's still there. I am gonna move it. I'm just gonna tighten the stop. I'm gonna tighten it up just a little bit. I don't think it makes sense to give it all the way there. There was just a pretty decent volume spike. It's hard to see. See that? That's a volume spike at the low. So I just tightened my stop up, not much, but right into the 10 level because I don't want to give too much back. I'm gonna give a quarter of what I'm up on this because I did add into this, but I'm not gonna give it all up with a volume spike at the low of the day. We just went through the VWAP and the futures as well. So if this wick goes no further than just in front of the 1810, then we're okay. But yeah, it felt a little bit different just now. Silver actually even just got a spike as well. It's almost like everything just got a bit of a jolt at the same time.
Jolt job numbers. Yeah, so we have to fail there as AMD. I mean, it's a good thing we got out, and look what happens as soon as we get out. Boom, right there to the upside. So definitely have to take the L there on AMD today, but that was too bad because out a little bit and then just out to the upside. But again, like not a huge amount of shares. I am thinking about now, like just because this is the 200 period moving average, so now we actually got like a decent indicator here to work off of. So I was sort of thinking if we took 193 again, then maybe we go short against whatever this high is. But here we go, man. You're now starting to accelerate back up to the upside. So let's cancel that idea and say, no, we don't have to short AMD anymore, as now we've broken through major levels. I mean, the next level up is way higher than where we are now. I mean, we've had such a bad day on this stock. We've already been to 200 bucks. So, you know, the next level right here would be VWAP, which would be like 196-ish. So I think that's, I don't think that will be in play today. It's all 310. Maybe you could get that for sure. Probably Google is broken above its highs now, or yes, there it is. So now broken above and starting to take out some levels here is Google to the high side. The TQs, I mean, are we going to get that 200 period break on this one? We already got it on here. We're not going to get it. Well, that's 49.50. So we still have a little bit of time to go there on the 5-minute chart for the TQQs. But AMD's at an interesting level. I still think we could short that. I don't know if this market is now in the clear or not. We are still very far away from some levels. But what was that high on AMD? Was 193.50. We could play against that, but we might get run again up there, 193.60s. Okay, what's the super chat up with now, Andre? We can go take a look at that.
It's Aziz AI. Let's go Amazon. Okay, well, it might be going now, even if it's. Oh man. Okay.
What was that high on AMD?
It kind of fooled me there. I really thought that Amazon was breaking out in a big way when we got that super chat.
You're excited for the earnings, man.
I know you're excited. Yeah, excited for the earnings. Hey, it'll be big earnings. Stick around after the bell. We'll have all the big names reporting tonight, led of course by Amazon. All four of us will be at the desk. Turn around here with Adara as well. Just kind of wish it'd been going a little bit stronger than that. Let's go to the desk, Adara.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know here, looks like GOLD is halted news pending. I'm just double checking this. Yeah, this is in fact the case. This is gold.com, halted news pending. It's been that way since roughly 3:08 p.m. So a couple of minutes now. If I get any news, I'll let you know, but just wanted to let you guys know I saw this come across. This does not look super heavily traded, but just in case this happened to come across your radar, we don't have any news on it yet. Back to you.
Okay, well, maybe they're being bought just for the IP.
It could be like some kind of buy.
I could definitely see something like that happening for us here. So, all right, well, we got back into AM. Okay, well, right now we should be taking, okay, there, I was gonna say we should be taking some profits now on advanced micro devices, because I'm just gonna go 1-to-1 against that recent top of 70, right? So we're short here at 43s. We just took a bid at 20s. 20 cents or so 1-to-1. So we were talking about the risk management in the past. We're trying to risk manage this one a little bit better now as we do go 1-to-1. And, we finally hit, okay, now go. Yes. Hopefully we can put some money back into our pockets right now on this trade. We're bidding 85s. Maybe we can get a nice, well, what's the difference between bidding 85s and 90 right now? 5 cents. Bang, there it is. Yes, sir. A little bit of a chicken dinner winner as we make a little bit of this money back here on AMD. Let's see if it can fall back in. And this is a much smarter trade, man. I mean, I'm getting better and betterer as we go because, just waiting for that top instead of getting, well, this was fine. This was against 192, so actually fine with that. I think we had a bad timing. Bad timing on that one. But then using this move up here to short against that high, I mean, we almost got stopped out, but we didn't. So, okay. Now you're about $1 in the money on this. Okay, yeah, we'll take some 50s. All right, now we'll hold, man. Now we've got about just over half left of this trade as it's now into the dollar club and going a little bit lower. Believe it or not, we've almost made back everything that we lost on that trade, and we're still holding. So we could lose again if it does come back up to the upside. But watch out here, 50-period moving average, 192. We'll put a bid down there in case we do get that crank a little bit lower. So I'm going to put a bid there, see what happens. 192, 25s. That's where I'm sitting right now. There it is. Did we get it? Yes, we did. So nice move down there as now we're $1.20 in the money, and it's making a little bit more sense now on that play. So, okay, good. I'm glad we did that one, and it's coming right back in. And like we say, we're prop trading here. So hitting a lot of keys and probably hitting too many, but nice pullback in here for AMD. Now, let's see if we can get back to some of those lows, and then we'll be really laughing with this trade. But we're still only 313. So there's a lot of time left. This stock could easily get back there and take out some of those highs. So good couple outs down there, holding a little less, well, less than half now. Let's see what winds up happening here with AMD. Maybe we get that move lower that we were hoping for.
Oh yeah, Sienna's going into the SPX, I think today. S&P, yeah.
Okay, okay.
No, S&P 500. Sienna's going back into the S&P 500. When I was, I don't know, it's been a very, they got booted a long time ago, and they're going back in today. But it's a weird one because I think they're in the 400 or the 600, and they're going from one to the other. So that could be really tricky because when you're moving from one to the other, it's like there'll be some sellers and there'll be some buyers. I think overall it's supposed to be a net buy. I remember Sienna, you might not remember this, but in the two trainee groups, I was in the big cap side of it, large cap side. The small cap side of it, one of their 4 stocks, everyone had 4 stocks they trade. Sienna was one of the 4.
Yeah.
And it was like $1.40 stock. So it was like heavily traded on the floor when I started. And now it is.
Do we smash Bitcoin lows, by the way?
Bitcoin
you're breaking the low.
BM&R broke the low.
Oh, you're in BM&R already.
The key thing for BM&R here is when the futures, let me full screen this. When the futures were pressing VWAP, like there was an actual substantive move back into the upside. It was just, okay, well, what did crypto do? Like BM&R barely broke off the lows. It came right back into the prior low, couldn't close above, and Bitcoin, kind of the same thing. Like it tried to press through the prior bottom and couldn't get back above. Meanwhile, while the market was looking a little bit stronger. So I did try to get more on the way back through 18. Like when it goes up through 18, on the way back in, I tried to grab some 99s. Probably should have tried to grab 96s or 97s. But either way, we're continuing to head down. Unfortunately, like it just, what is weak stays weaker, I suppose is the best way to think about it. I haven't even looked at, someone just put coin in. I mean, here's I'll make you an educated guess. Coinbase just broke the low of the day. And if that's not true, I'll be a little bit surprised. Oh, look at that. Coinbase just broke the low of the day, down 12%. If it is crypto related, it is looking very, very bad. It has shown no signs of getting better. In fact, most of these names look like they're getting worse. So, kind of sucks. Because everyone's, but not everybody. On our last poll was like less than half our viewers own crypto. So you guys are all pretty happy, but anybody that does, and if you're anywhere in the space, you're in pain. Treasury play, you're in pain. If you're in Coinbase, you're in pain. If you're in Robinhood, you're in pain. I'm guessing if you're in Hut 8 or any mining companies. I haven't looked at any of these today. Yeah. 17% of the day.
Where's EWJ on this one, man?
Oh, Mara, just here. I'm just going to put this one up because we haven't looked at any of the miners directly. Also, I thought that was broken. Also 17%. It's a dumpster fire. Mara's at $7. Remember when this had support at 15? Yeah, remember the good old days, everybody? When Mara was at 15, when people liked Bitcoin, when Tom Lee was high-fiving Sean before the Super Bowl.
That was last year's Super Bowl.
That was last year. No, but you can see the Patriots. It looks like the Patriots.
Yeah.
So
that's a good one. It's some popcorn.
Where's the guac? No guacamole.
I just love the fact that I'm wearing 2 different shirts. Like I was very like.
What the?
So is he.
That's hilarious.
Like in one, we're casual. This is us watching, and then this is us afterwards. Like going to the business meeting to talk about BM&R. So we're casual watching the game. There we are. We convinced everybody that Ethereum's a buy right there, and we're just.
Why the double high five? Like I know Neil mentioned it earlier, but it's like something like.
Yeah, I told you it's something that we do.
It's like a midsummer style ritual. I'm like, what is happening there?
It's just something that Tom and I decided to do.
You know what I gotta say? This is weirdly true. Nobody else is gonna know this except for me.
Yeah.
But that actually looks like that looks a lot like your brother.
No.
If you play it again, I see it's almost like.
No, it's not.
The side profile looks like I see.
I don't know. I mean, my guns are way bigger than that, but yeah. Other than that, it's
but it does look a little like him.
It does, yeah. I mean,
you guys obviously look alike.
Yeah, I mean, he's my brother, so at the end of the day, thanks. That's really fun, Ramin, and thanks to my wife for sending that in. So, okay, so just real quick, we just got some more fills down there at 192. So that was great. Like, look at that fill right there, 192.10s. Like that's right into our 25 period moving average. So I like ye a lot, and so far so good on this reshort, like fail right into here, man. Like, sorry about that one. This was breaking the low of the day, and we said we weren't doing very many shares, but by the time, remember we came up there and I doubled the position at 80, and then wound up losing. It was 40 cents at the end of the day. So, but now we're making it back, and I'll tell you guys, I'm still actually, because we're waiting for the flush, I still haven't made back everything. If we can get below, basically right into here, then we'll, napkin math will be up on it if we break 192. So we just have to wait on that initial idea of that break here for BTC, sorry. Wow, I just said BTC by accident there because
64.
Bitcoin's down 35% this week, and it's Thursday. So I just everyone's smart when it's ripping and everyone's long, and everyone's high-fiving like me and Tom there and everything. But it's like when this market gets hit like this, it's kind of like we just say, well, we're going to wait for it to bounce back. And I don't know this time where exactly it's going to go, but it's just briefly dropped below 64,000. And if we're going to look at all we've done is look at long-term charts here. And it's more just to tell you guys, yeah, this is a big problem. This is probably the worst week. I'm not going to say in history, because if you go all the way back when nobody was in it, who cares? But the reason why this is a lot different now is because we have all these ETFs, we have all these levered plays. It's a lot different than back in 2020, 2021, where wow, this has happened before. This is a much different game right now. We have many different players in this. We have the BMNR, we have Ethereum, we have all these Ripple, Solana ETFs. Everything is cranking and cracking together at the same time. So you get this whole contagion of the whole crypto market absolutely falling on its face. And then you have some dude named Michael Saylor that's holding 700,000 of these things and wondering what's going on right now in one of his 5 yachts. So I don't really know where this thing goes to, but this time is not like the rest, man. This is a big time flush. This is a great move on the election. So we've seen a similar move up on the election, but now we're all the way back down and trying to figure out what that next stage is. So yeah, Sharif mentioned he had dip bought some today, and I think that's probably the prudent thing to do. Trying to pick bottoms, nobody's smart enough to figure out where that is. You just gotta wait, and as Neil and I mentioned before, you gotta wait until you see something that might indicate a bottom. And yeah, I guess
seeing much today.
You're not. I don't know when you're ever going to see much, but what you're seeing is a $2 winner right now from your boy on AMD. So there it goes, man. Now right back to that low side for advanced micro devices. I like to trade.
Yeah, and some people saying rightfully so. The Clarity Act could be, maybe that's the catalyst. They can finally get that passed.
I guess they have to make it more clear, I guess.
I don't know. I don't think it's any one thing that's causing this. So to say that, okay, yeah, get the Clarity Act passed and everything's going to be absolutely fine. I don't think it's going to be that simple, but certainly you could look for some kind of a positive catalyst somewhere, and maybe that's going to be it. So, I don't know. I think a lot of times we try to find, if you work too hard to find a reason for a bounce in something that is very distinctly trending, one way or the other, or look for a top. Like we were saying, I was saying the same thing about some of the data names. The memory chip names. I'm like, I kept looking for reasons for there to be a top. You can always come up with something. So you can always come up with why there's going to be support. I do think it could be a positive catalyst for the Clarity Act if the Clarity Act is passed. I would agree with you there. I just don't think it's okay, after that you just load in and you're going to be absolutely fine. There's so much.
Do you know what the main points are of the Clarity Act?
Oh,
no, I was going to say, okay, I was going to say, I'm just not trying to call you out. I have no idea myself. I just wonder what would be clear from that act after all. So, well, I don't know. Adair, you know anything about the Clarity Act? Obviously, both of us.
About what?
The Clarity, whatever Neil's talking about, I never even heard of it. The Clarity Act.
I know there are some discussions of some of these stablecoin acts today with our friend Scott Bessent, who had his second day of fun, exciting Senate testimony. I'm not being sarcastic. I actually enjoy this stuff. But so anyways, today was actually pretty interesting because he did talk a little bit to Cynthia Lummis, who is very pro-crypto. She is a Republican senator. And so they were kind of talking a little bit about this act, including with other senators. And probably the most interesting thing that I got out of this was And again, I forget if it was him who said it or one of the senators, but either way, there was this conversation about how certain players within the industry were maybe not wanting regulations as much as they maybe should. And so I kind of took that as a diss at Brian Armstrong, because we know he's been kind of vocal here. But again, that's just my personal interpretation. The stock did not react to it, and I checked right away. So in terms of the Clarity Act, it was mentioned, but nothing in super big detail beyond we have to get stuff moving.
The whole idea is in any, I don't know, in anything, look, financial regulation is like the most regulated thing in the world of financial markets, right? So what you're looking for, I would suppose, is just certainty as to how all different tokens are treated, how things like giving yield are treated. It's just, if you don't have that, then again, there's certain types of money that maybe aren't in it, and maybe it would just be that you'll have a new round of, let's just say, new money able to come into this market, because ultimately that's what would be needed. Like if we're talking, like why do you bounce? We bounce because when you're this far down, like there's lots of probably Bitcoin bulls who flat out are like, I got no more bullets. I don't have any more bullets. I don't have any more bullets to fire. So where's the new money going to come in? You know, like I put myself in the category of I sold half my ETH and sold not a single Bitcoin, not even a little bit of it. You know, but I'm not dip buying ETH. I might be able to. I have something that I can shift from the ETH if I want to go buy Bitcoin, but then I go look over at what Microsoft is doing. I'm like, well, what do I want to do with this money right now? If I had to pick one to buy right now, I don't know. Softy's looking kind of decent. I got to be real with you. I'm not getting my arm dipped by, that's for sure. By the way, we just hit, it was a 63.5, and, well, he ain't there anymore. I shouldn't say he when talking about a level on a chart, but it's a figure of speech. So I saw IBIT hit this 36, and we were temporarily bouncing. Well, at least it looked like it was temporarily bouncing, but now we're just blowing through the low. So what I'm doing is, well, 33.30, there might be one more shot. If we get anywhere near this trend line or any pop, I think working into it's going to make some sense. It's been a good one today. Staying short has worked well. Just simply like waiting for some entry points. Maybe missed this on BM&R. There was one shot on the trend line, but it's almost 3:30. So far, it's been a perfect day, but not going to force anything. I will probably look at Sienna just in case at the close, but I think that's a Nasdaq stock, so we're not going to get an early look on Sienna unless it is moved to the New York when I wasn't looking.
Yeah, good day today, going perfect. 191, just waiting for the fill. That was obviously the break that we had initially right down there. We just got something we got two, my best fill's at 25, so I took 35s and then I took 25s, and right now we have 25% left. So maybe a move down here will get us excited once again. So I'm going to bid 191, then I'm bidding 190.80 where we were stopped out at, where the trade stopped and then blasted. So, and I do have half the out. What we have left, as it's getting less and less, lesser and lesser as we go. 192.25er. We're going to get out. Hey, I want everyone to make sure that they go ahead and, as I talk to Ramin on the side here, go make sure you do check us all out on Instagram. She's posting up a whole bunch of stuff. I got my sticky note on there every single day, how to invest 10K. We've got some fun. Let's see what Ramin's posted up here. Oh, this was good. This is when we were talking, I think, about Apple or something right here. Here's Neil and I on the after show. So go check it out, man. Go follow me at Trader TV Sean, at Trader TV Live on Instagram, right? So do that and go check us out right now and have some fun, man. There's a lot of good stuff on here. Here's Randy. Yo, what's up, Randy? Lots of fun. There's Donald. Lots of good stuff on this. Go check it out and make sure you follow us all on Instagram, and you will not regret that. There's some fun stuff going up. See a little bit behind the scenes. Some BTS there today. Wow, silver is going to be at the lows as well right now. Well, not the very low, $65, but it looks like the low of the afternoon, 67, and not looking any better as we continue to watch out for silver trade, as that's looking a little low side right now, so we'll have to watch out for that. But I don't think there's a break coming. I mean, I'd love to get this back to 69er, and then we'll get going on that one. So, yeah, so far here, just waiting on this AMD trade, man. I mean, I'm trying there. I put it in the chat. If you guys are not a member of our chat, do it. Just get there, be a subscriber. Neil and I always looking up there. We're putting them up on the board. You can super chat, ask us questions, whatever you may like. Okay, AMD, just because I'm going to put a bid there at 15s. We take that fill. I'm still at 02 as well, so maybe that'll be something. But that's what I'm looking for right now in the space. And let's see if we get some fills happening now on advanced micro devices at 191. It's only a $2.50 winner. So if you're joining us for the first time, we have a little club that we like to get into every once in a while. And it's a dollar club, and we're in it right now. As there's the fill there, $2.50 back end there for AMD, putting us back to positive now on advanced micro devices. So let's see where we go from here. Hopefully lower.
We haven't stopped going lower all day, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Like, when in doubt, well, I can finally say that ARM has come back in. It made a top. Didn't make any sense where it made the top. It's kind of random. I guess the straw that broke the camel's back was $115 and almost 8% to the upside on ARM, or 8.5%. It's finally coming in, one of the strongest names out there. Even just now, Bitcoin, look at the bottoming tail. So this is when I got out of DMNR. There's our little bottoming tail hold of 36. It's even threatening to come back in. But just to follow rules here, I want to do this so you can see volume better. Big volume spike on that reversal candle. So huge volume in a reversal candle. That's kind of what gets me out at the low, but you're still threatening the low of the day. It just cannot seem to bounce. So even like a standard reversal candle is not causing the buyers to come in here. It's just absolutely nasty. Nasty. I can't tell you the number of times I've seen Bitcoin to zero in the chat today. Probably a few too many.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least going to $1. I mean, zero?
What is this, Carvana?
I mean, Joe's already said that he'll sit there with his $1,000 and buy as much of Bitcoin at $1 as he can. So we're going to try to hold that up like immediately, you know, at that one. So I don't think it's going to go to zero.
Yeah, I think we'll have other fish to fry. If Bitcoin goes to zero, we're probably worrying about some other things.
Really?
No, I
don't think the market.
Well, it's a large enough market now that some serious things would. If it goes to zero, there's probably some other structural blow-ups that'll likely happen. That, like, by the time that will be like, I don't know. Like, I think things ever get that extreme, there's probably some really other good opportunities that you've taken well before that happens. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no chance Bitcoin goes to zero without causing enough of a cascade that a bunch of other really quality, safer things give you dip buys as well. That's my whole point. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't worry thinking about that because there's no chance it happens without probably a bunch of other different acts that tie up my money.
I mean, half of our audience isn't even in crypto, you know? Exactly. So I just feel like even if it does crash all the way down.
Think of where the queues would be if that happened. You wouldn't pick up the queue. I'd probably like, I'd probably already have loaded into the queues by that point. So what's.
Yeah. No, I just don't think it's like the epic collapse and the, I don't know. I mean, whatever. Fiat's already cranking lower anyways. So, but okay. I mean, I'll just stay doing what I do best, trading equities. And here we go to the downside. I still love trading Bitcoin, don't get me wrong. I don't have any IBIT trades today, though, or MSTR or Coinbase, I mean, all right, so AMD, whatever, man, it's $3.
Another one.
So let's go over here and look quickly at MSTR, because we talked about how nasty that's going to get, you know, if and when, and there it is, man. We last looked at it at 13%, now it's 17%. So even though Bitcoin's obviously not moving as fast as this there today, MSTR is not catching a break, man, and they don't deserve to. You go into Bitcoin and you really try to support that. AMD, man, yes. What's up, Lyndon Meyer? I hope you're still in that, man. You and I were in this name, AMD. But yeah, this is the move down. They did split, so this is not an accurate look. It's just down to the split level. That's all I was trying to show you guys right there. If I go over to the E-single chart, make sure you do join us. We're going over all the reports today as well. Neil, myself, Adara, Brendo, tonight, live. So yeah, so you know, you're getting it back to 2024 levels. This is not like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? We're only back down to where we were 2 years ago. But right into there, actually it's February of 24. These are February of 24 levels that we're at now. So you've given everything back in BTC and or MSTR. And well, not everything in BTC. MSTR is obviously more egregious than Bitcoin, but right back into there, 109 and change is what we're looking. Well, it's 106 right now, but those were the levels. And right into there, this very bottom, this is that bottom wick that was sort of bought up. That's 100 even. So 100 even basically is what we're looking at. And then you can go all the way back here to 2021 for MicroStrategy. But I'm not actually sure when MicroStrategy turned into a Bitcoin only play. So that these times might not be appropriate for Bitcoin. But yeah, 100 if I was going to put it on. Oh yeah, you know what? What's up, Eerie Pages? See, this is what happens when you're in the chat. I get to see you. Here's Eerie Pages. All right, you know what? Let's go over and see what's going on with who made all the money yesterday. So let me see what you're talking about here, Eerie. Just loading up the money-making page. Blue Ocean was a moneymaker on SLV last night. Oh, yeah, so you're with us, Eerie Pages. So yeah, congratulations to you, man, trading that Blue Ocean. Let me go see if I find you on here, Eerie Pages. Is that what you want to say, Eerie Pages or Airy Pages? All right, this is the trading information portal that we have here at Trader TV Live, but at Real Trading. Anybody trading with Real Trading, like Airy Pages is, you can definitely have this look. So here, we're going to go to compare your profits. And this is yesterday. Who's making the fruit salad here at Real Trading? So we're going to go down. We're going to see these markets and tell you who the top traders were yesterday. Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely in the wrong profession, man. $73,000 yesterday for somebody. If I made that, you got to get the defibrillator out. But Amex Canada, Nasdaq, New York. Amex Canada, Nasdaq, New York, 51,000. Crazy times. I've been on this list before, but not at 71,000. 19,000. So these numbers are more reasonable. 19,008. Canada, 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 Canada. Canada, CSE, Amex, right there. So yesterday, I would assume that these New York and NASDAQs are relatively small. Whatever happened there on the TSX yesterday was huge. And that's why you want to be able to, trade all different markets and understand different markets, right? I mean, these are numbers that, like, honestly, I've already told you 98% of the traders that walk through prop floors fail. So the ones that make money obviously are doing it at quite extensive manners. So nice trading there, guys, for sure. Shout out to Real Trading and their access to over 60 live markets. So Eerie Pages, I don't see you there on Blue Ocean, but as you mentioned, you did have a great day over there. And you know what? Like, I'm not making that list, man. That list was $16,000. He did it on SLV. All right, so MSTR still going down. So we can have a quick little look at SLV here. So yeah, there it goes, man. SLV not doing too much right now, but looking like it does want to break just a little bit lower. And hey, man, we emptied it out. Like, this actually happened. So now I have 10% left of, actually even less than that, of this position left on AMD. We may or may not reload it, but Yahoo, there goes AMD. So far, so good on that trade. I'm glad that we stuck with it.
Exactly. And just one note, I will tell you, even on this floor, when I was at the poker night, some of the guys that used to be on this floor, the most successful ones are trying new markets. Like the guys that did the best were the ones that went to Blue Ocean and started trading it and taking shots at that. And they look at Toronto and they look at, and sometimes they trade Europe, maybe not so much anymore, and they try Amex. And it's little things here and there, because it doesn't have to be about Tesla. Like, I don't know, how many people traded Tesla today? I mean, maybe some, it's possible, I don't know. But you were probably looking at something in the crypto space or silver recently, would be my guess. And it's not that Tesla's not moving all that well, it absolutely is. But there's so many other opportunities out there, and don't let anybody tell you there's only one way to make money trading. It's whatever works for you. You've just got to find whatever it is that works for you and make sure that you do that and try new things until you find that thing that does. One note, it is past 3:30. I didn't see anything that stood out here on the early looks for the imbalances. Sienna is on the New York. I was wrong about that. For some reason, I thought it was a NASDAQ stock, but if there was an early look on Sienna, then you would see it here. It's not. Oracle is a small sell of 750,000. BBAI is a small buy of 650,000, but nothing crazy. FPS, What? Oh, that's from the, why is FPS on here? Oh, I guess it opened at 143. Wow, that's a really late open. That was that IPO today. So nothing crazy. SOXL is going to be a buy of 1.2 million. Very muted for sure. I just reminded myself that I am going to want to put Sienna on my side imbalance locator so I can look at just that number if and when it does come out. Because I want to make sure we highlight that. It's supposed to be going into the S&P 500, replacing DAY. Which
yeah, so we'll see that come out probably as a sell. Well, we'll see.
Well, I mean, sometimes it comes out the wrong way.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Sometimes you get oppo on that one. Bitcoin is now officially chopped in half. Whoosh. Chop that thing in half and flush that thing down the toilet right now because Bitcoin's high was about 128. So now that you're at 63, 64,000, that's the chopping action right now, chopped in half. So yeah, that's not great, man. 63 and change. Watch out, not just forget about sale or liquidating. I think the big part of it is, you know, you have names like GameStop that are holding Bitcoin. And it's kind of surprising, like it must not be that much Bitcoin, but there are companies that are holding Bitcoin on account.
On balance sheet.
You know, so yeah, so I mean, those companies probably getting hit a little bit here.
Maru was one of the biggest ones, and they're smoked.
Oh yeah, I mean all these names that were trying to hold some BTC on their books, right? So yeah, nice downside play there, and I'm wondering if GameStop might be the next one to go. I mean, I don't know enough about it. You guys that are in GameStop would obviously know sort of the direction of how much GameStop owns BTC and what that might mean to their overall liquidity position if they're holding Bitcoin instead of cash or whatever they're doing. But GameStop right now actually holding out quite nicely despite the sort of you know, smoking that's been happening right now in the crypto space. So
if I can trust
yeah, of course. I think
40, yeah, I think I can. 4,700 Bitcoin.
So what is that math? 4,700. That's 5,000 times.
Just go 5,000.
Yeah, 4,700 times 60.
Oh, and they're under the water.
Yeah, they must be here.
Their average price approximately 73.7. Isn't it weird that their price? That sounds.
I think they started building it late.
Oh no, sorry, no. It's different. No, it doesn't have their. Actually, they're not.
Tesla has 12,000 Bitcoin there. Says Darwin.
Tesla's got 12K still.
So I mean, that's another factor, right? I mean, as we sit here and we start to see these.
I thought they were selling. Elon sell.
I don't think Elon really is.
I thought he sold some.
Too nervous about anything that's happening right now.
They got the big bucks.
In the space. So I just want to go over something because there goes AMD. So we're still in $1 here. Actually, we're still $1.50 on AMD. But in sensing that potentially, you know, we a little bit of trouble there. We did buy some. Well, we did buy some back. So right now we are under 5% left of AMD. So that's a little play there. AMD. Just waiting. I'm not going to be reloading it. We are just moments away from earnings, right? And so 341 right now, 350, the imbalance has come out. So not really my cup of tea to be holding anything into that. Was that a super chat that we had?
Super chat, yeah.
Okay, we can throw it up, Andre.
CVX to the moon.
Oil to $100 a barrel. What is it, $62 now? So you're talking about a 50% increase in oil.
By the end of the, well, I mean, we're at the beginning of the
I wouldn't say, I mean, I bought XLE a little bit more, averaged up into XLE yesterday. And
Chevron looked good.
Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I don't know what day it was, but anyways, it's not doing anything. Right, oh, that's right, it did split as well. But anyways, averaged into that. I thought it was 51.20s. So it might have been 2 days ago, but there it is, nice little pop there. It doesn't, honestly, I don't know the price because it doesn't matter. We've been long this thing for a very long time. I've been telling you guys, even when Randy was here talking about Chevron, I was like, well, I'm just in XLE, and that was, so we're probably in the 30s, maybe even lower, but I like the trade, and I can't disagree with that. Oil, just another commodity trying to go. Throw it up. Oh, there you go. So they're selling all their, okay, they are selling all their crypto. What I want to know is, have they sold all their crypto?
Yeah,
because
that's the question.
I get a feeling that there's a lot of traders right now that may potentially be selling all their crypto at this. So
late now, GME.
Maybe a little late, but it's a little late for everyone to sell it. So, but you know what the move is?
You know what?
Lower.
If you think it's abject disaster, then it's never. In theory, it's never.
It's already down 50%. This is.
But
yeah, exactly.
But if you think it's going to 37, then. It would be somewhat prudent to do so. I mean, what was the strategy you had going into it is really the question that you've got to ask yourself. By the way, BMNR actually has a buy imbalance. It's not going up, I can tell you that. Not right now anyways. 1.4 million to the buy side with only 7 minutes to go till we get set imbalances. I would be pretty happy if, by the way, I'd be happy if oil went to, you don't want the price at the pump to go up, but I own some Chevron and I like them. I think getting to 80 would be pretty good of a move for oil. 100, that seems overly optimistic is the way that I would put it. I can't see what gets us there. $100 a barrel. I'm not sure what gets us there. A lot would probably have to happen in the Middle East, and it is what it is. It's not impossible. We've seen that kind of action before. But if you're looking at what's going on in crypto, we're still kind of trending down, even with that buy imbalance. BMNR is not bouncing. You are seeing some chop down here. It's not the steady drop on IBIT, but you're seeing a little bit of chop. And I'll probably come in tomorrow with a pivot to BMNR over IBIT, at least the way that it's been trading. I just feel like it's going a little bit more at times. Percentage-wise, it's not that big of a difference, but I made the shift early, like shorted Bitcoin earlier and then BMNR later. I think I would go with that same thing tomorrow. At least that's a plan of action, unless I see some kind of divergence and suddenly ETH gets stronger than Bitcoin. I can't see that happening. But if it does, then probably wouldn't do that. Amazon going into their print, that little muted bounce, bye-bye. Right back into support. So that 222, we're right back at it. Amazon's going to enter these earnings after the bell down currently 4.5%.
Yuck.
Yeah, yuck is.
Well, maybe it's finally like positioned right then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Apple, by the way, Apple just took a bit of a right turn. Apple was doing very well this afternoon and then just dropped into VWAP here. Can't say it's in imbalances because they're not out till 5 minutes from now. No Nasdaq names just yet, but Apple rolling over. I'm going to double check what's going on with our good friend Alphabet because they are also, okay, they were and are still in the camp of being very strong. Alphabet's still giving you a chance that it could go green on the session near the highest of the day, even as the market rolls over. And Benna in the chat, actually I was going to look at ARM anyways. This would have been the miss. The thing about ARM turning back here, ARM could get to VWAP. Like fine, it made a high, but like what was the entry there? I don't know. Like here's like a break of the high and then like shorted in here somewhere, just kind of randomly when it comes through there, and then like where's the out? I don't know. It didn't give any kind of a short setup that I'd ever take when it's moving this way, but eventually backing off, still up that 6%. You can't frame this as anything but strong, regardless of what you thought about the report, right? It's a monster reversal candle into a weak market, back above the 100 support. Like everything about this says bullish, despite a lot of the things about the report making me think it would have been bearish today. So sometimes the best thing you can do is not trade it. I think that was a good decision to not short ARM today. Sheesh.
Yeah, I think that was probably a good one. This is what's reporting here tonight, and it's going to be obviously a big night, right? I mean, you just have right here Amazon immediately at 4 p.m., right? Clean Spark, let's go find out what they're saying at 4 p.m. as well. Bloom Energy's been on one. I haven't checked out BE in a minute, probably pulling back on all this stuff. Not really, actually. 135 with a high of 160 for Bloom, so we'll see what they're going to do. That's going to be a big report for them, man. Strategy, I don't think it's really moved much on earnings. I wonder what do you have the expected move on Strategy, Adara? Because I'm not sure it's
10.7%.
Okay, well that is a big one.
Really? It never does.
I don't know if anybody heard her there, but 10.7 there, so good move there for that. IREN there, that's a name that Brendan had selected. They're going to come through tonight as well. Reddit down, not down, but they're at 405. So basically, you don't have to stick around for too long. It's a firm at 420. So all of these names, a firm in Strategy. Oh, these are all just in numerical timeline here. So yeah, Amazon, IREN, CleanSpark, Reddit, Bloom, Fortinet. So there we go. We just talked about cybersecurity, right? Let's see what happens with Fortinet tonight. Strategy, a firm, and then down here, Roblox. TBD. So go over to Trader TV Research and go find this one out right here. Everything is on here. That's actually my feed, but here's Trader TV Research right here. A movement tomorrow as well. 8:30. That's today. 8:30 tomorrow. Non-farms payroll. And
so apparently we have Mike. Stay right on there.
Is that not going to come out tomorrow? Or
there's no stay right on. Go right back over. I know there's some mic issues for Sean there, but we got non-farm payrolls at 8:30 in the morning.
No, we
We're
don't.
not
Sorry,
getting them?
it's been updated since, and I did change the week. I mentioned this earlier today, but it's actually been postponed because of the very brief shutdown, which I thought was odd, but that's what they did. So,
hey, government shutdown issues as well. But yeah, it is going to be action-packed after the bell. Make sure don't just stick around. Everyone stick around, obviously, but I want to make sure everyone engages. Like, stay engaged in the chat, ask questions. If there's something about an earnings report that we're covering or not covering that you're curious about, maybe you missed a number or you want thoughts on a name that we're not talking about, you've got to be engaged with us, and we'll do the best we can to cover everything. On the days where we have, like tonight, where we'll probably have 5 or 6 names that are likely to be of interest to most people, led by, of course, Amazon. We're going to clearly lean into Amazon, and a name like a Reddit, we know people have interest in. It's going to probably move the market a little bit here, so we'll touch on the futures as well. But if there's something on the sidelines and you're like, hey, why aren't you guys covering this? Make sure you're in the chat. We will literally, if you can see right behind me, imbalance is in 50 seconds, by the way, right behind me on this big screen, we'll have the chat up on that screen. Like, Sean and I are literally staring at the chat on a big screen. So if you have questions or comments, you can get shouted out, or we can answer that question in real time. And I just saw Mike DeRider. I don't have a mic, by the way. Okay, that's they're working on Sean's mic, because we got to make sure we get that fixed. We have 10 minutes to go. BITI fresh highs. Yeah, like it. You could, well, probably a lot of people are trading this, right? Like, if you don't want to go short Bitcoin, you can just go long the inverse, which would be BITI up here, up 13%, clearly in an upward trend. That would be the other way to trade it. I'm not saying you have to. I mean, you could just short IBIT, which is what everyone here would do as well. But yeah, BITI is going to be an example that you can do for sure. IREN getting smacked. They're not getting the credit for the pivot away. Some of these, and they're not the only ones. You have a lot of these like mining type companies that have made some pivots into other directions and going into their print under a lot of pressure, as we can see. But the imbalances are out, and it's just not. Snapchat's a buy of 2 million. It's not very big. Walmart's a sell of 1.7. That's something. MSTR 1.2 million to sell. You don't see that on the list very often. Open Door is a sell of 1.7 million. Snapchat, they didn't have a good day, but they are a buy, 2.2. The overall market is only 308 million to buy, the NQ 51 million, the MAG 726 million. So the market itself, very small imbalance, almost nothing, and a few individual names standing out. MSTR, that sell, the one that leads the way.
Don't tell Sharif, but I have his mic now.
Uh-oh.
There you go, Sharif. The guy's very particular about things.
Tax.
So do not tell him that I was using his microphone. I mean, he's very particular about his Obis form old man chair rest over there. But maybe I should take that and just send him a picture of me.
It's a heated chair.
Yeah, send him a picture of me using it. That'd be the best. But yeah, shout out to Sharif. Great job on the midday, as per usual. All right, man, we have a little bit of diamond hands action going on right now, but not that much. We're going to cover here because we're almost done. We're going to flip over to the after show in just a matter of a couple seconds, where Brendo, myself, Neil, and Adara will be joining you guys for a recap of all of the earnings that are about to hit, right? We have Amazon, Reddit, IREN, a couple big ones coming through here tonight. We just went over the micro strategy as Bitcoin right now is at its lows of the day again. 63.1 right now, not doing well for BTC holders here today. That is for sure, as we probably have its single worst day in a long time for BTC and for IBIT. I don't think we've ever even questioned IBIT being down SSR before, but there it goes, down 15% and really just not stopping all day. Bitcoin is now down 40% this week. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now, watching out for BTC and a potential pull on that even into tomorrow. So, all right, 352.25. I haven't looked at the imbalances. Neil has them up there. Did the Sienna work out, or?
Sienna did not show up.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say it didn't show. It didn't show up as significant, so it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not. One of the things that'll happen if you're going from one index to another, it gets moving up. It's already in the S&P 4 or 600, one of the two, and then it goes into the 500, which is bigger, is there's buy and sell. Sometimes you have an imbalance, sometimes you don't. The bigger thing is, so the MSTR imbalance is actually growing. It's now 1.9 million to the sell side. None of the big names are there. Like, I don't see, there's Oracle for 1 million, but you don't see like Nvidia, I don't see Apple. Like, really, you're just looking at MSTR and Walmart. Kind of weird that Walmart's a sell of 1.7. I can't imagine why that would be interesting or down there. But MSTR is just blasting, now 19% down. There's a joke in the chat that they're reporting at 420 because Michael Saylor might need a little something to get through the call.
Is he even beyond the call?
I don't.
Yeah, I know. It's just a funny joke.
Well, I mean, I'd hope so.
I don't know. Sometimes CEOs don't hit it, but his case, I think he would.
No,
I think today is an important day.
I think today, if you
wow, 62.
No,
now.
if you weren't on the call today when this is happening to Bitcoin, given what strategy is, no, you have to be on this call. You better have something to say.
What?
I don't know what you're gonna say. I can't imagine. I have no idea. I'm sure it'll be interesting. A lot of people are gonna be paying
I think he's gonna have Ja Rule on, and he's gonna say hold the line over there.
Ja Rule probably fled a long time ago.
Yeah, Ja Rule's too smart to be in Bitcoin.
Yeah. He'd rather support that the fire. That was
Fire Festival.
The Fire Festival.
I want to go to Fire Festival. Apparently, there's Fire Festival 2 happening.
That'd be epic.
Yeah, I'm going. I am going to go. So guys, send me your ticket stubs or whatever. I'll buy them off of you, and then I'll be the one getting ripped off, and you won't. So there you go. I'm for the people. All right. So 193. This is for the people. Here's $2 right now in the money. That's your fruit salad trade of the afternoon. So you know, whether or not you like lemons and limes in your fruit salad, I don't know, but that's an interesting one. We did get another move down into what? Like, look at that. Right there on the imbalance. Like, are you kidding me? We got 191.05 again. Thank you, AMD. You are the #1 trade idea for me today, but it was up here at 202 and we don't have it. So we messed with it down here and had some fun trading some advanced micro devices here this afternoon. Yeah, I might as well just clear out of this. Whatever. I'm just going to bid it out. There we go. We are now out and flat. So yeah, so far so good here. Just making sure you cancel all of your orders. That's the one thing that everybody needs to make sure you do, right? Do not have any pending script orders or anything like that into the close, especially if you are here with real trading, as we don't trade and execute. Yeah,
MSTR looks like it just paired off in big bounce.
Okay.
So MSTR's imbalance completely paired off from what I can see. Nvidia was not there and is now 1.2 million to the sell side. Snapchat is still a 2 million buy, go figure. Opendoor is still a 1.7 million sell. ETHA showed up for 1.5 million to the sell side. But the big one was the pairing event. We say this every single day with a reason. If it has a big imbalance at 355, it might not anymore. This is the spike up when that imbalance paired off on MSTR. So the algos are all over that, sort of buying it back. It's still down 17%. I don't think anyone's cheerleading this bounce on MSTR, but it was because that imbalance is now gone. I didn't look at Opendoor, I suppose. There's enough people that ask us about Opendoor that with the imbalance, we should check. I guess that's about as predictable as you could get. Had a sell imbalance, market was going down, Opendoor is down 6%, and that imbalance took it to the low of the day. So where is Opendoor's at the 200 period moving average.
Okay.
Eric Jackson, if you're out there, should we buy Opendoor at the 200 period moving average?
He's going to say yes.
I know of course he's going to say yes.
I mean, he got everybody into HUD 8.
Give us the use case. Opendoor is doing way better than HUD 8 right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, today anyways. Obviously, HUD 8 chart's better than Opendoor.
Oh, we just bounced off 62.
18% down for HUD 8.
63.
I feel like that's the magic number. It's like Bitcoin is down what it is, but like all the names around it are like 17 to 19% down.
All right, we are now 3 minutes away. What a good opportunity here to let everybody and remind you all that we do have this after show. So it's been great. We've been doing it all week, right? Every time there's major earnings, we promised that we would do it. So we're doing it one more time. Unfortunately, tomorrow, well, it's fortunate for us, but unfortunate for everybody else because there is no earnings tomorrow. So we will be seeing everybody all day tomorrow, and join us at 8 a.m. every single day as the whole crew will be here on the desk with Sharif and Brendan. Neil and I will be here. Joey's always here as well, going over the options, going over upgrades and downgrades. So, all right, man, with only 2 minutes left, the NASDAQ right now down 1.4%. ES down 1.2%. IWM, just a little quick on that, look on that, and we'll throw it back over to Brendan and Adair, and they will get you, down 2% here for the IWM. Not a good day for that. And then, of course, just before we go, it's IBIT. So this is not Bitcoin, but it's IBIT that's down 14%. And then BMNR, well, here, let's go to Ethereum. ETHA, the equivalent of IBIT for Ethereum, also down double digits, right? Yeah, 14.2% there. So, all right, thank you so much. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're getting ready to flip it over. So back to the desk, and you'll see us in a couple minutes. Ciao till then.
Hey guys, yeah, welcome in. Let's get you set here for what is to come. It's going to come once again, fast and furious, right at 4 o'clock. We should actually get Amazon right out of the gate. A number of interesting reports to come, however. You were just mentioning an interesting fact on one of them that we don't actually have a time for.
Yeah.
But it could be one that actually comes at 4 o'clock as well.
Yeah, so here's the thing, and this kind of reminds me, and again, this is where like the weird memory does weird things to me. So Starbucks reported pre-market this year, which it never does. Roblox usually
typically does. Yeah,
yeah, it usually reports pre-market, and they're reporting post-market. So Starbucks and Roblox are both confusing my brain over here. But regardless, Roblox, though apparently its earnings call is scheduled to take place at 4:30. Its time of release does not exist. Maybe it'll pull in SMCI and release right exactly at 4:51 on the dot.
Whenever
so
they
knows?
feel like it.
Yeah.
It's been
Why not?
It's been one of those earnings seasons, really, where we've had a few that have kind
Been
of
chaotic. Yeah,
all
but
over the place.
in a fun way, I think.
Regardless, we'll fill you in when they do come across and see what actually happens here. Here's Amazon, meanwhile, kind of chopping around at the lows, as most tech names are today. It's noting, and I zoomed out here a little bit just to look at the past 2 days. Volume today much, much higher than normal going into earnings report, which is not typical, but we'll see what happens here. Again, Amazon, one of those that we could get right at 4 o'clock. MSTR, really, really interesting with the Bitcoin move today. I was doing a lot of reading throughout the midday today on the whole strategy position in Bitcoin and how this could or could not play out badly for them. Yeah. And it really comes down to these convertible notes that they have sold to raise cash to go and buy Bitcoin with that are expiring in 2027 and 2028. And essentially, when they expire in 2027 and 2028, those investors will have the option for cash or shares in strategies.
That's interesting.
I had a price of 183 thrown out at me. So essentially if the price of the stock is above 183, it makes more sense for them to take shares.
Okay, but now it's below.
It's a long story. At the end of the day, he's fine until 2027 or 2028. Let's keep an eye out here, guys. Again, these are going to come fast and furious. We'll keep Amazon up here on the chart just to see if we see any kind of reaction as far as the actual stock is concerned. Yeah, market closing red once again. So just thoughts here, guys, going into Amazon earnings. We've talked about it most of the day, but maybe not as significant as what we had yesterday.
Bury the lead, but does it really matter? Only because it's out. And the only reason I say that, so now it's going to the downside, and now it's going to rate. So it just touched 217. Now you're up to 228. So what I meant by that was like, there's now 217 again. Is we've seen reaction to stocks differ on open and then how they close, like the way Google ended up the day right here. But Adara's going to parse through those numbers, and when she's ready, just tell me, and we'll go over there because right now Amazon kicking it down 6% right now. I'm not sure what they were. Oh, they're down 4 today. Right, so you're down about
the numbers.
2 extra percent. Adair's got him. Let's go.
Yeah, so this is a nice year-over-year increase here. Net sales up 14%. I believe they were up 13% last quarter, so you still have some sequential growth in your growth as well.
Bye-bye.
That's going to be $213.4 billion in revenue for AMZN. Now, again, we were expecting roughly $211 billion, so that is a beat in addition to that growth. North American segment sales up 10% year over year. International segment sales up 17% year over year. AWS segment sales up 24% year over year. Now, off the top of my head, I know international and AWS segment growth is larger than it was last quarter, so that's a good look. Operating income, $25 billion here for the quarter. North American, international, and AWS segment. Okay, so international segment income actually down year over year. So other than that, though, we've got year over year increases in North American and AWS segment income. Once again here, net sales for the fiscal year up 12%. For the fiscal year, AWS sales up 20%. There's something really glaring here, guys, that is explaining this. Profitability apparently a little bit lower than expected. So EPS 195 versus 197.
Yeah, 2 pennies.
It's
not a huge miss, but you can't miss, guys. You can't miss. No.
I was saying, like, you're almost better to miss a lot, and then hopefully the market says, oh, well, this must be a sandbag. And
there must be like some
right. To miss by a little is probably worse than to miss by a lot, because by a lot, maybe you can get, I don't know, some forgiveness. But wow, there it goes to the downside. You're down another 11% in a big name, and you were down 4 to begin with. So here it goes, down 7% right now for Amazon, man. And I don't think it's going to get any better right here. And as we said, their AWS was not the hugest number that I think everyone wanted. So we'll find out more. But yeah, there it goes, right through the 200 period. Amazon is dead right now to me. Yeah. Watch out for this level, 2 bills, man, all the way back to May.
That AWS number, 24%, let's not forget, yesterday at this time, we were talking about Alphabet, 49% growth. And so 24, that might be better than last quarter, but it's still not going to cut it. Not looking very good. But I just saw DJ Reese in the chat saying Marvell is pumping. So do we have CapEx?
Hallelujah.
Why that would go and why Broadcom also went last night.
It's probably a troll.
It was the CapEx number on Alphabet. And then that's why we got some bumps across the board. Maybe that's the case here, but I haven't seen the CapEx.
Not yet.
Marvell's going.
Also noticing, guys, the operating margin, which Adara mentioned, 11.7% was in line.
Oh, okay.
So the operating margin in line, EPS missed by 2 pennies. So yeah, that's not going to work for this this market condition. Did you see that?
Yeah, no, that's crazy that's what you what counts for missing here. I haven't seen that one. I mean, I have their Q1 net sales outlook, but I'm not seeing how that compares to estimates. 173.5 billion to 178.5 billion. So again, like roughly $5 billion range. Last quarter, they guided just above the midpoint. So Amazon and like kind of iffy guidance is not new, to be fair as well.
514 billion in annual revenue, which is a record. Last year, or that was 2022. Yeah. 469.8 in 2021 was the prior. We're up to 716.9.
Oh, CapEx guide.
In this, go ahead.
2026 CapEx of roughly $200 billion versus 146.11 million expected. They said, Google, you guided high, we can guide even higher.
200 and what?
200 billion versus 146.1 billion expected, Neil.
Okay.
I have no words.
Okay, well, whip out your weekly and monthly charts to find out where Amazon might be able to bounce here because, yeah, well, you knew it was going to be big. Well, look, all the other hyperscalers had big, gigantic CapEx numbers, so like, I guess we should not be surprised by this whatsoever. I don't know, man. The 200 period on the weekly says $165, and I'm not saying we're going to go to $165. That seems like a little bit crazy, but we just broke $200 here, and you don't have anything on the daily that you're going to hang your hat on right now. So all things are on the table. That being said, when things were up, we give the caveat, hey, you never really know.
All right.
What are the chances that Amazon, I'm going to say 1%, could pull an ARM where it looks doom and gloom, and then magically, for reasons unknown, they actually have a green day tomorrow? Well, although, I don't know, I still feel like with ARM, and just not to change the subject a bit, I feel like we're going to get a 13F or whatever filing on ARM to explain some of what happened today, because someone probably was just buying it up, and we're going to find out the institution that was doing so after a bad report. But Amazon doesn't look good. They don't like the CapEx spend. They don't have the growth that Google does to be able to justify it, I don't think.
200 billion. Let's just say that again. 200 billion capex.
I can't process that.
I mean, they make enough money.
Look, they're making money. But
yeah, it is what it is. I mean, these guys are just spending the money. You just mentioned there's 716 billion in revenue. They're putting the money to work, and we did hear from Sundar yesterday, right, that in order to stay part of the game, you need to be part of the game. And it's like, if everybody else, Brendan, is spending like crazy, Amazon has to, man. You have to keep up with the Joneses.
The difference, though, is we've sat here for 2 or 3 quarters in a row saying, when is the market going to say, okay, enough is enough with the spending? And maybe we're starting to finally see the cracks in the foundation a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that the cracks are definitely here right now. We've seen them punish Microsoft for their spend. We didn't see it from Google. We just mentioned that today. Roblox is flushing as well.
Flying. Ooh. Roblox is flying to the upside.
Yeah, okay.
I just checked. So it's up about $10.
Okay.
I have
more. Yeah.
Do we have the numbers? Even more now. $12 up 14% here is Roblox. So maybe some good news here on the earnings desk.
Yeah, I have to go on there. I love when people do this and they make me go through their entire corporate website to find the press release. But I found it. Oh, wait, no, I just found the press release giving me a link. Okay, let's go. Do we have it? Full release. And it's still the okay, so it does exist. It's just not in an accessible way. Shareholder letter, we got it, guys. Okay, sorry about all the hullabaloo there. So average daily active users, 144 million, up 69% year over year. Hours engaged, up 88% year over year. Average monthly unique payers up 94% year over year, revenue up 43% year over year, bookings up 63% year over year. I am not seeing any year over year declines. It's also worth noting free cash flow up 155%. Operating cash flow up 229%. Brenda, this is massive growth across the board for RBLX.
Yeah, we did get a move there. Sean mentioned Reddit here. I'm not seeing anything. Might be worth a check there. For RDT, touch 170, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, revenue up 70% year over year to $726 million. 2025 revenue, so for the fiscal year, up 69% to $2.2 billion. Net income making up 35% of revenue for the quarter. Let's see here any of these other metrics that they follow. Any of the user metrics. I'm not seeing anything here yet, but again, I'll just go over everything here. So net income, as I mentioned here, $252 million. That's going to be up year over year. Gross margin for the fiscal year up at 91.2%. Gross margin for the quarter up 91.9%. So gross margin actually did decline on a quarter or on a year-over-year basis for the quarter, but for the fiscal year it rose. So quarterly gross margin here for Reddit, a little bit of a year-over-year decline, but that's really it as of right now.
Looks like DOCS just coming across as well. Ouch! Wow, downside huge. Revenue 185 million. It's actually beat 181.6 was the estimate. EPS 46 cents, a beat as well, verse 45. Quarterly active prescribers, 1 million plus. Workflow products, 720,000. I'm not seeing anything that's actually negative on that, but
I'll go through the report.
Pretty ugly here. That's a better part of a $10 move top to bottom today.
Oh, I found it.
Docs, go for it.
So they narrowed their sales guidance, and even then it's not that significant. So it's literally just making a smaller range within their larger range. So they were initially guiding 640 million to 646 million for the fiscal year. Now they're guiding 642 million to 643.5 million. So the midpoint of their guide is 643 million. Basically, there's guidance is actually exactly the same, Brendan, because if you're going based on the midpoint has not changed. So it's really bizarre to lower your guidance for that reason when your midpoint is exactly the same. So kind of a weird look there for Doximity. Their Q4 sales guide, though, is below estimates, 143 mil to 144 mil versus estimates of 150 mil. If I had to guess, that's probably what's getting them here and not their fiscal 2026 sales guide. I'm
seeing a very muted reaction to this, but IREN, revenue 184 million versus 226. Stocks up marginally here after the close, but I mean, this is a play on potentially power demand in the future. So revenue today, probably not the most important thing. I'm not seeing anything else on that yet.
I'm looking.
If we can look that up as well.
I have it.
You're still going to get caught up in the crypto flush today, so it doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, I have a little bit more.
Even though it might not be as deserved as you think, it's like you're still getting swept up. And if people are looking out in the future, they're like, well, look what's happening.
Today is still,
the business today.
Their revenue declined year over year.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a bit of a drop there here. Net income actually came out as a loss. They actually reported income last quarter. Yeah, it's not a good look. That's all I'm trying to say.
But again, it's the reaction, not much. I mean, it was up. Now we're back to red here. For IREN, RBLX, just hearing, almost highs once again, guys. 74 coming into play here.
Do we have a firm out?
I want to talk about Roblox.
420 is the ETA.
That number on Roblox that Adair read, 94% growth in daily active paid users. I mean, that's 94%. So they basically doubled their total addressable market just by paid right there, and let alone every kid that's born also gets a Roblox account. So that's $75 right there. This is actually looking like a great buy zone for me for Roblox. I think we may put this one back into the account tomorrow. Just been beat up, obviously, with this move down, and I actually really like the numbers there for Roblox today. The second worst performer in the S&P 500 today was Coinbase, down 14%. Not too far behind it is Robinhood today, the third worst performer in the S&P 500, down 11% today.
Don't forget this. We spent most of the last few quarters, anytime we were looking at who's going to get added to the S&P 500 next, what was the name that was always the most mentioned but not top of the list? Is MicroStrategy.
Right.
So imagine if they'd been added to it as well. I think
that would have been bad.
I think we actually have a firm out because
Amazon bounced off
a
200,
firm just went 10% up and down, and I think we have the numbers.
Yeah, that would mean it's out.
Yeah, so what happened here is Q2, they're out 10 minutes early, guys. Q2 earnings, 37 cents per share versus 30 cents expected. Sales, 1.123 billion, beating estimates of 1.058 billion. That's a double beat for AFRM. Guiding Q3 sales between 970 million and 1 billion versus estimates of 979.57 billion. So guidance kind of in line, but that's really par for the course for a firm. Double beat.
Initial move was higher, back downside right now. I just brought up strategy here just to keep it up on a chart. We're getting close. No, it's supposed to be 420,
420.
Not 415. So we do have a few more minutes. But Affirm, guys, any thoughts on that?
There'd been such a good rally going into this on Affirm. I just sort of feel like I don't feel good about many of these. So I have my eyeballs on Reddit in that 150 level. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But Affirm, which is not a New York stock, Affirm, I feel like this is one of those types of names where it's not going to matter at this particular point because load, structurally speaking, and I know we've said this a lot today, it was a broken stock this week, just technically speaking. And when that happens, you're going to have sell pressure on it. Like it literally was consolidating after breaking the 50 and 200, breaking prior support. So like what's going to make it turn around, right? Like, okay, Roblox was like distinctly down in a downtrend and then puts out some big numbers when it's already been exhaustion to the downside. This is a situation where like it just cracked the well. So what's going to cause buyers to want to come in? Like personally, it's exactly the kind of situation where I would not want to touch it with a 10-foot pole here with a firm. And I was looking over Reddit because I was like, yeah, does Reddit look pretty good? And as I was staring it down, I mean, it's the same kind of story. What makes you feel good about it after today? Yeah. Everyone seems to be finding where they can sell and then maybe put money to work in better places. And I want to know what you guys think, I mean, ultimately, because you can't. I find myself today, it's like, well, is this a good dip buy? Is that a good dip buy? You can't like it all. No. You got to try to just pick, okay, well, I've liked this here. This is how much I've got that I want to spend if we're going to be in this turn. I like this stock here. I like that there. Maybe I like a little Microsoft at 370. Whatever you might be able to find. You're not really getting a dip in Google if you wanted to buy that. So you've got to pick and choose. And I would stay the heck away from a firm at these levels, to be honest with you.
Yeah, firm's not the same. It's not in the same boat as the Microsoft.
It's not a safe
buy. It's just it's what if the consumer eventually starts to lose it? We've had some really good strength in Walmart. We've seen Target battle back as well. And then we do not get non-farm payrolls tomorrow. But what if jobs, we got that number this morning, which started to send the market a little lower as well. So that's going to be a big problem, I feel like, for a firm. But over to Amazon, just got smoked on a higher than expected CapEx, right, for 2026. The numbers across the board actually look pretty good for Amazon. Obviously, we saw AWS not in the same growth pattern as like Google or Azure Cloud. But you are bouncing off 200, which is a pretty key psychological level. We'll see if we can hold that into tomorrow back up to 205. This does smell a little bit like Google potentially, where you had quite a good flush, then a little bit of a battle back here on Amazon, and maybe it does wind up holding this $200 marker, but I didn't see any of the retail stats come out of here. I don't think that's pushing the needle anywhere. All that I'm seeing online is CapEx, CapEx, CapEx. So that was the big thing for us. Sinks now more than 11%. Remember though, we were down 4% to begin with. So it's just down 6% right now on Amazon, which to be honest with you isn't horrible. We can make that 6% back in a heartbeat. Remember, Google was down 8% at its lows today and finished basically flat. So, there is a good opportunity for Amazon to get back to it tomorrow. And I want to say, I think you can probably buy this dip tomorrow morning. Let's wait to see after the call, which I believe is probably 4:35. We'll see if Bezos gets on there, if he's on the yacht or whatever. But for right now, Amazon, I think it's safe to look at 200 for a long.
It's becoming more and more obvious, guys, that the earnings reactions to stocks that are holding up better than most is down, and the earnings reactions that are up are, as you were saying, stocks that are in a downtrend. So the path of least resistance kind of flipping on its head. Dara, you have MicroStrategy.
I do indeed have MSTR. MSTR, guys, posting Q4 adjusted earnings of $16.37 per share, beating estimates of 10.96. Sales, $122.9 million versus estimates of 118.4. They are holding 713,000 Bitcoin.
Fine.
But then also, here's their average price. Because we were saying earlier, someone pointed this out in the chat, and then I confirmed. They've taken out their average price off their website. They did disclose it here. 76,000, just over 76,000 a Bitcoin. They are very out of the money today.
And this is what I was saying when we came on. It literally doesn't matter at this point. They can continue to issue shares as long as there's buyers on these convertible notes and continue to buy Bitcoin. The first expiration of these convertible notes is in 2027. So as long as those people are fine, if we get to 2027 and their share price is below the average cost basis, which I saw today was 183, then they can go to those convertible note holders can go to a strategy and say, give me my cash back. And that's when
we're going to have issues.
The other thing I saw today, guys, which was really interesting, is the convertible notes they have out now, I think was around $1 billion in value, but they have $2.5 billion in cash on hand. So even if they had to pay all of those back, they already have the cash to do so. So, I mean, it's almost like they can just keep doing this as much as they want.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we're probably going to hear, I don't know whether it's tomorrow or maybe it's on the call or whether it's next week, X amount was bought at 67 to whatever price was bought on this.
If he has $2 billion in cash, he could be buying right now.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
with the cash.
Yeah, we'll find out. I'm sure there was some buying.
I'm sure there
was some buying today. That's what you do. If you really love it, you buy the dip. Ask Kathy Wood. Just on another note, we did get a super chat. And before we get to the super chat, Reddit authorized a $1 billion buyback. And that's actually holding up pretty decent. It's only up 3% right now, but you sprinkle a little buyback on it. It's never really a bad thing in this situation. I would love to see it hold some of these gains a little bit better than it is. But for now, not a bad look. But here we have a super chat from Danny's boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bristol Myers is reporting tonight as well. Are you guys covering BMY? I have not seen.
They reported this morning. And they were on our watch list this morning. So Danny boy, you can check out the Trader TV watch list. It's free. I'm 95% sure this is on our watch list because I remember I was shocked by how much volume it was doing.
It's not usually a huge volume name to trade.
I mean, here's BMY.
No, so they beat. It was a 126 versus 111. They beat on EPS. They beat on revenue as well. 12.5 billion versus 12.28. Their guidance was above. Midpoint was above the estimates there. So beat on guidance on both EPS as well as sales. So there was a beat across the board in the guidance. In addition to that, I hadn't looked at the chart today for BMY, but they beat across the board. Danny's board.
I mean, I like that sector. I like it a lot. The XPI and the biotechs. So I think Reddit's probably the only red mark I see on here is U.S. daily active users, 52.5 million daily active users. So 1 in every 6 or so Americans using this, or 1 in every 7. How many people are in the United States? 350 million, I thought, maybe?
Closer to 4, maybe?
400 million, okay. 1 in 8 using Reddit. Sure. And the estimate is 52.65. So you're actually pretty close on that. Everything else is like green dotted here. So I think that Reddit eventually finds a bottom here and gets back up to the upside. I really like Reddit for the LLM, and paying for information to come in to these large language models. Often you're saying it to check multiple sources, things like that, just like how YouTube, you're looking for a how-to video, you're generally going to YouTube, you're looking for some inside information, you're probably going to Reddit, right? Yeah. So I like Reddit here. I think it's a buy, up 4%. Why not, man? They shouted this name to 170, back into 158. Let's put some Reddit into the account potentially.
It's one of those, it's one of the top sources now, I think, on most chat models for information. IREN, a couple of people mentioning this, accelerating to the downside now. They did come out and unveil a 1.6 gigawatt Oklahoma data center campus as well. So maybe a little more investment going into that. So IREN under a little bit of pressure after, that was a decent sized miss on the revenue side of things.
I was right about the
I mean,
US
more and more
population.
comments, guys, on Reddit, too. Just absolutely crushing here.
I just asked Grok. Yeah, U.S. population was right. 350, 342.
350?
Yeah. So
Has it been there for a while? I guess maybe population growth isn't going like it used to be.
Wow, there's some other stuff happening
Yeah,
there.
there's lots of other stuff. Oh, by the way, Bloom.
Ooh, is it blooming?
My house is on fire. Up 9%. Bloom Energy.
Yeah.
They still have that good shortfall. I haven't really seen the numbers on
stock has
Bloom
been hot
yet.
fire.
I got to assume by the reaction there are. Oh, here we go. We have the. Oh, that's a big beat on guidance. Derry, you got this.
I got
That's
the whole
a big
thing.
beat on Glide.
We'll start with guidance here. They're guiding adjusted earnings per share for fiscal 2026, Brendan, between 133 and 148. Estimates for 107. Sales guiding here between 3.1 billion and 3.3 billion for the fiscal year. Estimate 2.541 billion. So as Neil alluded to, that is a nice little beat. Adjusted earnings for Q4 25, 45 cents per share, beating estimates of 31 cents. Sales, $777.683 million, beating estimates of $652 million. Revenue here for the fiscal year up 37.3% year over year. Gross margin increasing year over year. GAAP gross margin increasing year over year. For Q4, revenue grew by 35.9%. Nice little look there. Gross margin decreasing year over year for Bloom for the quarter.
Unbelievable looking chart right now, guys, considering what's happening on the overall market scale. I mean, this thing's, what is it, $15 or so from highs.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that. That name kind of has a meme feel to it, for sure. Why is Nvidia and these names not really moving? I mean, we have a $610 billion worth of capex between Amazon, Google, Meta, and Microsoft.
Unreal.
$610 billion of capex going to get spent this year.
It's like they
alone.
don't believe it. It's like they don't believe the
They have to
numbers
believe
and
it.
understand that the money has to go.
190,
The money has to look. Nvidia is going to get the benefit from this. Okay, like explain to me why Nvidia doesn't go up on this capex, but like Vernova and the energy names were going up. Well, CMI kind of pulled back crazy. CMI move was crazy, by the way, today.
Yeah,
but I know some of them pull back. But you're getting all of the other signs. We had Broadcom yesterday. You're going to see strength when we get the capex numbers. Why does Nvidia get no benefit from this? You would blame this on China? Really?
China?
No, what's the excuse for this increased capex spend not finding its way into Nvidia stock? It just feels like this. If it's tech, if it's seen as overvalued, I don't care about what should be happening. We're trimming, and we're figuring it out after the fact. So
this just to me solidifies Nvidia's dominance because people just don't want to hit the buy key right now. When traders start feeling better about the market, I think money will really flood into Nvidia. I mean, I can't buy Amazon and Google. And like, if you're worried about the capex number and you're saying, are these numbers real? They are going to be real. This money is going to be coming out of their accounts into potentially Nvidia, Broadcom, Intels of the world. And then that's maybe potentially why a Marvell was going. You're going to have other names that want to get to the upside here as well. But as we continue to see Microsoft down, everything getting hit when they're announcing this big CapEx. But that money has to go somewhere. And I guess the problem is people are thinking that this is a bubble now. These numbers are so huge that these companies are tripping over themselves to make sure that it's like, we've got you beat. And the whole story, and we heard it from Sunder yesterday, talk about if we don't do it, somebody else is gonna do it. And that eventually is the problem. Like, we would probably get nervous if Amazon said, hey, we're not doing any CapEx. Well, okay, well then what does that mean? Are there problems underneath the hood there? Why are they not spending?
We would find a way to complain. You're exactly right about that. We would be complaining about it if it was lower. We'd be complaining about it if it's higher. But there is, I just saw the chat's undefeated when it comes to this. In reality, we're getting some rotation, right? So maybe there are some safe places you could rotate to that get both ends of it. Yeah. Like both sides of the coin here, like a name like a Caterpillar. Like data centers are getting built out. Who do you think is going to build them?
Copper.
Right, or copper. Like there's places you can be which are not as crazy AI risk, let's just say, are performing just fine right now, but are also a part of this story somewhere in the stack and somewhere that isn't necessarily the chips. We have another super chat here, by the way, the log man. If we can go back to MSTR for a second. Oh, did that come up? There we go. The log man with the super chat, BTC price 35K, entire MSTR capital stack is preferred holders and capital note holders, common shareholders, then zero equity left. Easy to miss that. So, look, I think ultimately, when we start talking about, we
are ways away from
SDR,
these prices.
And yeah, I was going to say, in Bitcoin, right? Like, I think we've got to, I know it's bad today, but some of the doom and gloom prices and areas that have been thrown out today, I don't think we need to freak out about them now. Now, obviously, if you hold MSCI, if you hold Bitcoin, you've got to have these things in the back of your mind. But this moment, if you're not already out, are you panicking today? I don't know. Like, we'd already lost some pretty key support levels. I feel like people have probably trimmed what they've trimmed, and there's some panic sell today. This is now the wait and see moment. So whether we get some buyers coming in tomorrow, like if you're doing your you would have already done that today, or you would have already done it when we broke some support the last couple of weeks. Now would be that time where you just try to cool down, see how reacts for a couple of days, at least one weekend. Because if we get one of those padded weekend flushes, that changes everything.
Yeah.
On Bitcoin.
One more, guys, on the semiconductor side, or microchip anyways. MCHP just coming through, 1.19 billion versus 1.17 on the revenue side of things. EPS was a beat, non-GAAP gross margin was a beat. Revenue looks like the guide for Q4, the revenue guide for Q4 was a little bit light. Adjusted EPS as well, a little bit light for MCHP. Not a huge number, but another one just coming across.
Shout out to Talent 103 in the chat there. Micro tragedy.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a pretty good one.
I've heard that
Micro
one
tragedy.
before.
Why have I not heard of that before?
Take
That is a good one there. But yeah, so I don't know, man. Amazon's holding out pretty well. We want to thank everybody for joining us. Amazon 206, 207. We've been really holding that level, so I think we'll see tomorrow where and if we get down into that $200 level, which was definitely bought up on the most amount of volume there. Forget about that first little wick there. You're looking for a base. We got some good volume on that base, holding 205, 206. Obviously, we wait for the next call to come through. Bitcoin obviously down 40% here or down more than 50% from the highs. We'll wait to see if there's anything going on there. But the AWS revenue story just keeps on ticking higher and higher and higher right here. I mean, this is just a little, Adair's got all the infographics.
I have
but
a new one.
you're still going higher up here. So there's a lot to talk about. AWS is going to be something that they're going to have to continuously battle for business, right? I mean, there's just so much competition out there.
They're number 3. They're not 1. They're not 2. They're number 3.
Yeah. So I don't know. And how do you gain business, right? By slashing your own margins.
Yeah.
They're going to have to come up with an idea of why do people want to choose AWS versus Azure. Because the thing about Azure is it's built in. They have Copilot. Microsoft has a lot of levers to be pulled. I'm just not sure where Amazon goes with all of this. So yeah, little nervous hands here. I'll wait to see for the call about exactly where all this CapEx is going to.
Well, all right, we'll maybe wrap it up at that point, guys. We do have a couple of earnings calls set for 4:30. I didn't actually check Amazon's.
It's on at 5.
So 5 o'clock for Amazon. If you're sticking around to wait for that. Why don't you summarize that for us?
Yeah, so this is Amazon. I pulled this up here. This will actually come out right before the call. This is scheduled to be released at 4:59 p.m. So right before the call. So this will be a brand new infographic for you guys. What this does is it shows how Amazon's earnings or total revenue for the quarter, which is roughly $213.5 billion, how that kind of is broken up. So the vast majority of it's still going to be North American revenue. Then you're going to get your international revenue, and last but not least, AWS. Now, what's interesting here, international and AWS revenue growth continues to accelerate. North American revenue growth actually slowed a little bit versus last quarter. So last quarter, 11%, this quarter, 10%. Nothing major, but we know Microsoft got punished for less with the Azure, right? So I do want to mention that. In terms of overall Amazon earnings, the shot heard around the world here for AMZN was the fact that they had their CapEx guidance of over $200 billion versus $145.5 billion expected.
Yeah, and that is going to be the headline tomorrow.
That is the main headline.
When we come in, everything is just going to be about that CapEx. Guys, great day, great show as always. Join us, won't you, all back tomorrow at 8 a.m. We will review this again and so much more. We made it to Friday, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. See ya.